family greetings. And thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. I'm your host, Chan Krummer. We're joined with the other host, Lady Chase. She's asleep right now. When she wakes up, she'll be joining us. And we should be joined here shortly with our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Corey, of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. And on this season 11, episode 9 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc news, we'll be discussing several topics. The first one is Wes Moore's Reparations study Veto, Overridden. Great news. We did cover this on the Front Line Blacc news, but we had to get Professor Black Truth's take on it. Then growing backlash after DOJ misses deadline to release the Epstein files. Then we got Trump, aka the dump, as in human shit. And we want to make that perfectly clear. Trump's regime change operation ramps up with blockade of Venezuelan oil. Then we got, for the Negro Affection League, otherwise known as the NFL, Steelers receiver DK Metcalf suspended for 2 games after altercation with Detroit Lions fan. Hence, he called him a nigger. But they keep lying saying that he didn't, but clearly he did. And then we got American Strong, remembering Betty Reid Soskin, the oldest National Park Service Ranger. She's black. And then we got Dave Chappelle, just destroyed that racist white supremacist Charlie Kirk's legacy by doing this. Great news. So Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced is based on the 50th anniversary of the founding of the original Blacc Panther Party for self-defense. It started on Blogtalk Radio back in 2016 and have been around for 11 seasons now. Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced covers the Black experience from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago. It's also part of the Frontline campaign and has recently, within the last 2 years, moved from Blogtalk Radio to Streamyard. Please make sure you like and share the broadcast, family. Please join us on Streamyard, YouTube, Frontline Blacc News. The links to all of our channels are in the description, including Frontline Blacc News, Frontline Blacc News 2, our backup channel. Please make sure you sub up to the backup channel, Frontline Blacc News 2. And then we got my personal page, Jesse Paris, aka Chan Krummer. That's where we stream all the city council and community events on. Then that Revolutionary Agenda, Lady Chase channel. Make sure you'll sub up to her channel, the Revolutionary Agenda. Jay Militant's channel, What's Cracking TV with Jay Militant. Our Cuzzo, our Loke out the Bay Area. Kukizi, our brother out of the Mile High City. It does our intro track usually for the Frontline Blacc News when we're on a paid StreamYard subscription. His link is in the description. Breeze Omega, our brother out of Virginia, who was live earlier, his link is also in the description. We were chopping it up with our brother Breeze on his platform earlier, me and Lady Che. And then we got the Church of Black Power, our brother out of Watts, California, who's now in Houston, Texas. Make sure y'all sub it to his channel as well. And last but certainly not least, we got Black Truth United, our young brother out the Midwest, who created the B1 Rolodex, which is a modern-day green book for Black-owned and FBA-owned businesses. So the links to that are in the description. Also, if you want to submit a business, that link is also in the description. And then we have the petition for reparations. Please sign it to change.org petition. And then we got Lady Chase GoFundMe. Please support Lady Chase GoFundMe. That link is also in the description. We got Greg Marshall Dixon, a brother out of South Carolina, who's been a teacher for 10 years and ran against Jim Bojangles Clyburn twice. His GoFundMe is in the description as well. The Chicago family whose mom was attacked by students, their GoFundMe is also in the description. And then we got copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use. For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I do not own the rights to the music. And if you don't understand racism and white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. On the online areas of human activity, which are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, and some say health and nutrition. And that's by Neely Fuller Jr., passed away this past February 2025 at the age of 95. ProduceJustice.com. And when you are a black person or captured by any race soldier, you must never fuss, fight, or flee. Comply and defend yourself in court, also by Neely Fuller Jr., ProduceJustice.com. And racism and white supremacy is conscious and subconscious behavior to maintain white genetic survival, to prevent white genetic annihilation. And that was by great Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, who transitioned back in January of 2016 at the age of 80. And Tariq Nasheed paid for her funeral, along with Dick Gregory's, Dr. Ben, and Dr. Orinoco Rashidi. So shout out to Tariq for that. So those are the topics. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. So I'm going to hop right into it with the good professor, Professor Blacc Truth, going to give us an update, or his take rather, on our first topic, which is Wes Moore's veto of the reparations study overwritten. Share my screen. Which one is it? This one.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Back in May of this year, the so-called first black governor of Maryland, the immigrant Wes Moore, decided he was going to show his white DNC paymasters that they got their money's worth with him. So when members of the Maryland State Assembly proposed a reparations study, not even a reparations task force or even a Freedmen's Bureau, but merely a study just to talk about it, Wes Moore, the tether, he immediately said, oh, no, we're not going to do that. I got to stop that. Well, in the last few days, the state assembly, led by the Black Legislative Caucus there, voted to override Moore's veto. And that made it where basically he's been shown as irrelevant to this process. Now, keep in mind, Democrats control both chambers of the Maryland legislature, and they decide to get together to vote to override this guy. Now, keep in mind, this is merely a proposal for a study. But the potential reparations that are outlined in the bill include things like we've all heard before, apologies. There's talk of monetary compensation, but we got to see the details on that. Property tax rebates, social service assistance, licensing and permit fee waivers and reimbursement. And that reparations could also include assistance with making a down payment on a home. So there's the housing voucher scheme. That train's never late. Business incentives, childcare, debt forgiveness, and tuition payment waivers for higher education. So what that means is here's a sop to the HBCUs. Now, some of those things like the monetary compensation, of course, property tax rebates, permit fee waivers and reimbursement, things that have to do with actual money, debt forgiveness like that, that stuff is very valuable. That could actually be a real starter. But other things like the whole business incentives, that's too vague for me to even know what the hell that's supposed to mean. And that's the entire point. They didn't make it vague because they didn't know what it was. They made it vague so that they could go ahead and shoehorn other people in there. And that's the problem. And for the folks who don't listen so well, the reason that I and others don't allow the powers that be to classify anything and everything as reparations is precisely because of the fact that we have been locked out of so many avenues of business, so many avenues of education. We alone have been singled out to be systematically and categorically barred from all of these avenues and venues and arenas that would make it where we would have the kind of upward mobility that we're supposed to have. So that being the case, when it comes time to talk about having a house, who are you going to be going to? A white bank, a white mortgage company. When it comes time to talk about waivers for higher education, who owns those universities? It's going to be white-owned universities in league with the state. And even the so-called HBCUs, be honest, these guys are white-adjacent institutions. Let's just be real about it. Cut the nonsense. So that's the problem that goes along whenever the usual, well, here's some talk about a down payment on a home. Not even a home itself, but a down payment on it. Because that just means it's a scheme to float government money to these white bankers, to these white mortgage companies. And the same thing goes for these so-called waivers for higher education. That's all that those voucher schemes are. That's the reason why the white right is so happy about them, because they know exactly what that is. Wes Moore was installed as governor specifically to derail black empowerment. Just like these bootlicking Negroes you see in the white media, His job, just like theirs, is to prove to their white paymasters that they can keep our demands contained, that they can control us. If they can't, then white power has no need for them. That's why Wes Moore is worried right now. Sure, there's been plenty of proposals for reparations studies before, and yet these people are getting worried now. Why is that? Because this time it feels different. Because this time it wasn't a one-and-done pacification measure from their bootlicks in the immigrant Black caucus. This time the pressure is coming from the Black grassroots itself, from people that they don't control and can't stop. And whatever they do, it's going to be followed up on. That's what they're really scared of. Once we get the ball rolling on that, it's not a matter of, well, a reparations study, we can stop here, right? No, it's not going to be allowed to stop there. We're going to keep pushing and agitating regardless. And that's what they're scared of. They understand the difference between when they get away with something, and on the other hand, when they got folks who are looking them in the eye and telling them, oh, we're not going to let it end here. It's different this time because the people who are owed reparations are the driving force behind this. We've had frauds like H.R. 40, and that didn't scare them. But as we force reparations into the political discourse, you notice we haven't heard anyone trying to use the old H.R. 40 dodge anymore. That was a deliberate nothing burger sitting out there for decades, and now you have yet another proposal for a reparations study, and this time the first tether governor of Maryland says he opposes it. This is the final proof that Democrats were never in favor of even doing so much as studying reparations, modest as that proposal is. So even the idea of a mere study is way too much for these bootlicks and their white paymasters now. That's because of pressure from the grassroots, pressure from you. They know that the issue isn't going to be allowed to stop at a study. The bootlicks and tethers have lost their ability to contain the issue and dispel the energy. We've been telling you this for the longest time, family, that the greatest opposition we would face would come from the very Democrats who these shills and plants tell us are on our side. And NBC, or Nothing But Caucasians as they should be called, they're saying that, well, reparations gained momentum after the murder of George Floyd. This is the white media trying to have it both ways. They can't deny that the issue has undeniably gained momentum, that they couldn't stop it, despite the white media's best efforts to try to ignore it out of existence in the hopes that it goes away. They tried to conjure magic by ignoring it, figuring, well, if we don't talk about it, then it'll just go away eventually, right? But it didn't. And then they tried to put on pathetic political theater like that phony reparations hearing before Congress a few years back. Hell, they even dragged out the scumbag Ta-Nehisi Coates for it. They tried to redefine what reparations is. That's what that congressional hearing was about. And they're still trying it now. NBC was the same outfit who had Joy Reid lying about us and saying that anyone who was talking about reparations in the 2020 election, they were a Russian bot. And here they are years later saying it was George Floyd's murder that brought this to the forefront. They know what the real source is. The white media is terrified of it. They should be. And speaking of scum who are terrified, now that the bastard's been overridden, Wes Moore's pathetically trying to talk as if, well, I was in favor of it the whole time, guys. I mean, I'm all about doing the work. After his veto was overridden, Moore said that while he disagrees with the legislature's decision, I am eager to move forward in partnership on the work of repair that we all agree is urgent and pressing need. I believe the time for action is now, and we must continue moving forward with the work of repair immediately. That mission is especially vital given the immediate and ongoing effects of this federal administration on our constituents, including communities that have been historically left behind. Now, you notice that he doesn't mention Black people. He doesn't mention foundational Black Americans, doesn't mention freedmen, doesn't mention descendants of slaves. Hell, he doesn't even mention clowns like ADOS. He's staying on script is what he's doing. Well, we're going to be talking about communities that have been left behind. Reparations is not about communities left behind. It's about a specific lineage. But here they are still desperately trying to redefine. Well, we need a catch-all term that will apply to everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No. So just like his fellow Jamaican immigrant Kamala Harris, Wes Moore is staying on script with what his white paymasters in the DNC have told him to say. And more importantly, he's making sure to avoid what they told him not to say. Dr. Claude Anderson pointed this out. There's been a 60-plus year-long war to make the word Black anathema to political discourse. It's all about making sure that we're not part of the conversation. It's about erasing Black from the political discussion, unless it has to do with Black immigrants. And even then, they just use them as a smokescreen to hide behind for their ulterior motives. All Wes Moore can do is just be a broken record, mindlessly repeating the same crap, the same words. Well, I'm all about doing the work. I'm all about pressing need. We're the ones who say what the work is, and it's not empty gestures. When he vetoed that bill, he said that there was no need to study reparations because Maryland had some black politicians in office. He was talking about himself. He sounded like every white Republican you ever heard with that one, didn't he? Well, there's no need for reparations, buddy. You got some black guys in the NBA, buddy. There's some black guys in the NFL, buddy. There's your reparations, buddy. Well, there's welfare and food stamps, buddy. There's your reparations, buddy. Well, it's not some sawed-off redneck in the woods saying it this time. Now it's your so-called first black governor of Maryland. He's the one telling you that, well, you got a black governor. That's reparations, isn't it? That counts as reparations, doesn't it? And what's the so-called work that he keeps babbling about? He uses that word all the time like a child who discovered a new term. He said it was narrowing the wealth gap. The bastard didn't even have the decency to say black-white wealth gap. He says it as if reparations is about everyone. And it's about home ownership. There goes that word again. That means housing vouchers. And uplifting entrepreneurs of color, which means government contracts and government jobs for immigrants like himself. And then other gibberish like closing fundamental disparities, food insecurity, just the same pathetic boilerplate of rhetoric that the Democrats always serve up every election cycle. Well, that game's run out. Repeating the same old crap won't wash anymore because there's a new generation who understands their interest and isn't going to accept any of this word salad. We see through the lies. That's the reason why he never said that he was going to do anything for foundational Black Americans. What was he going to do for the people making the demands? Nothing. And the scumbag has a nerve to brag that trash like himself being in office, well, the rest of us should see that as being good for us. That's how you know his lying words are meant for a white audience, specifically the white DNC leadership. This piece of dirt thinks he's going to be president. That's what he's thinking. Well, he can kiss that one goodbye. Democrats did everything they could to manufacture a Kamala Harris presidency, and she failed twice in a row. And she had the entire California political machine behind her. Wes Moore doesn't even have that much. But it just goes to show what he was banking on. His veto was overturned by a Democratic-controlled state legislature. That is humiliating as hell to him because he's a Democrat governor, and what it shows is his own legislature decided to overturn him. That's huge when a state legislature does that. So he can't really count on them really for much of anything else. He's on thin ice is what this means. And the moron just got into office. That's why the bastard's sitting there trying to put a pretty face on him. So, I mean, I want you to know, I know I've been overridden, but I'm still in favor of it. I'm in favor of doing the time for action is now. I want you to know, yeah, you overturned me, but I don't mind because, I mean, I was down with the program the whole time. His entire hustle is to stop any action from being taken. He doesn't want action to be taken now or any other time. Wes Moore is trash. This guy is a tether who gives a bad name to everybody from Jamaica. He disgraces the on-code family from the Caribbean. He's a disgrace to the memory of Marcus Garvey, and he's a double agent for white supremacy. He depends on white power for every crumb of his daily bread. They were the ones who put him in office. They were the ones who bankrolled him. They were the ones who selected this moron and said, let's go ahead and put him into some sort of elected office. He knows he's not getting reparations. He's not owed anything. And given his degenerate behavior, he's owed less than nothing. He needs white power to feed him because he knows we never would. This creep is showing nothing but pure contempt for foundational Black Americans, and that means that he is disrespectful towards all of the respect-worthy Black world. And to think, you actually have people in the Caribbean who are proud of this clown, just like they were proud of Kamala Harris, just like they've been proud of some of these other fakers, frauds, phonies, fools, bootlicks, and tethers that keep coming up here. If you want to know why Jamaica is in the pitiful shape that it's in, like the rest of the Caribbean islands, if you want to know why the Caribbean people have to live in poverty and their so-called leaders do nothing about it, if you want to know why the same colonial forces who dominated Jamaica's people still live off the fat of the land while the people live in shanties, if you want to know why Jamaica's government throws open the gates for non-Black foreigners but deliberately ignores its own people, trash like Wes Moore are a prime example why. He's a living example of why the tethers are so dangerous. They hate Black people. In their sick minds, they're going to escape Blackness by showing nothing but total contempt for Black people. And that's something that gets me. Why is it that you got all of these publications outside the United States, all of these folks from abroad who are just so happy for these clowns who haven't done anything for them? It would be different if these guys were bringing home the bacon for Jamaica, but they're not doing anything. They're not even distinguishing themselves. But the one thing that they do have that these folks back home, quote unquote, don't have is proximity to whiteness. And that's the real reason that they look at these guys and want to put them on a pedestal. This is why these tethers have no shame about being British subjects. That ought to be a source of endless humiliation. And if they had any pride or self-respect, it would be. They're proud to be subjects. Do you know that the word subject, that's where we get the term subjugated? So when you hear these tethers from the Caribbean or Africa talking about how they're proud subjects of their former white masters, they're literally telling you they're proud to be subjugated, proud to be enslaved, proud to be underneath. And these are the people who try to tell us that they're better than us, the Candace Owens and others, people who are proud to be subjugated in what's supposed to be their own country, no less. You're never going to get free with a mentality like that. And this is who white power selected. They cherry-picked them to be brought to the country for the last 3 generations. And these are the people who are their stalking horses and push the ideology that there's no real difference between us and a proud-to-be subjugated tether. And this is the result. Wes Moore doing white supremacy's dirty work. That's the reason why CARIK'S a joke, and it's never going to produce anything. People don't like it when we talk like this, but the reality is we're not going to their countries and trying to undermine them politically or economically. They, on the other hand, have a countless number of individuals who come here precisely to do that to us. And the way that we start the process of untethering ourselves from these operatives of white supremacy is through delineation. You start drawing lines and you defend them fiercely. See, what Wes Moore's doing, this is the kind of mealy-mouthed, two-faced, fork-tongued word salad that these bootlicks were put in place to say. This is their pathetic attempt to try to talk like us. I'm all about doing the work. Wes Moore is not doing any work at all except for white supremacy's dirty work. He's a tether and a bootlick trying to do his own impersonation of what he thinks we would say. And it falls flat because he spent his entire life kissing the rumps of white power. So everything that he says is meant to appeal to them. That's why he can't talk like us. What he says doesn't have the ring of truth to it. Family, do not forget or forgive these days of treachery. And don't forget or forgive the individuals who committed these crimes against us. Don't let anyone try to cover for them or make excuses for them. What tethers rely on is white power protecting them. But white power only does that so long as white power sees them as being tools that can still be used. When white power perceives that these guys are no longer useful, it discards them. And when that happens to them, then where do they go? Now, you go ahead and put power in the hands of the people who these tethers were undermining and trying to derange our internal politics. You put power in our hands, and what you get is you get punishment for them after white power finally removes its hand of protection. That's how it goes in every other place. Whenever you have historically oppressed groups who finally gain their power, what they also do is they make sure that everybody who is complicit in their oppression is held to account. So you make sure you remember Wes Moore and these other scumbags, because while Wes Moore hasn't done anything, certainly not any work, those of us in the black grassroots recognize him for what he is: unfinished business. Good day and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Sakina Collins, Starlet Thompson, Nora Brown, Sherrard Brown, and Isaac. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
That's right, Professor. Black empowerment only exists because of us. To hell with Tether Wes Moore. We knew, we've been telling you from the very beginning since he got elected that he was bad news and that he wasn't going to do nothing specifically for black people. No! And here we can clearly see he wasn't. And shout out to the Maryland legislature, the black legislature out there, for overturning his ridiculous veto. So moving along, we got growing backlash as DOJ misses deadline to release Epstein files. This is going to be from the ABC World News. I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna basically play like the first half of this. Fair use, P2, fair use.
Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the dangerous storms on both coasts, just as the record holiday travel crush begins. Responders rescuing a baby above roaring rapids as millions in the Northeast brace for a blast of rain and snow. More than 122 million Americans set to travel over the holidays. Our weather team tracking the impacts. Tonight, President Trump announcing the U.S. is still actively pursuing a sanctioned oil tanker after the U.S. Coast Guard tried to seize it in the Caribbean. The Jeffrey Epstein files triggering a fight for transparency. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi under fire, facing a wave of backlash tonight as demands grow for all of the documents to be released. And the new statement from a spokesperson for former President Bill Clinton. The swimmer reported missing after reports of a possible shark attack, what witnesses say they saw in the water. An alarming high-speed car chase and crash. Police say an 11-year-old boy was behind the wheel with two more young children inside. What they allegedly told officers about where they learned to steal cars. Barry Manilow's health battle, the legendary singer sharing his cancer diagnosis. An encounter with a shoplifting suspect taking a frightening turn. Body camera video showing the chilling moments a man pulls a gun on an officer inside a Walmart. An aviation first, a small plane losing contact with the control tower, landing itself with two people on board. The Steelers' DK Metcalf accused of taking a swing at a Lions fan, and the punishment handed down just moments ago. The Powerball jackpot soaring to $1.6 billion for tonight's drawing, the fifth biggest prize on record. And America strong tonight, remembering the nation's oldest park ranger passing away at 104 years old, her trailblazing legacy of commitment and service.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. I'm Whit Johnson in for David tonight. We begin with the dangerous weather threats on both coasts, just as millions of Americans are on the move ahead of the Christmas holiday. Major roads and airports bracing for what's on track to be a record-setting travel period. More than 30 million people across California on alert, facing days of heavy rain and life-threatening flash flooding. And a close watch on the Northeast tonight. A quick blast of rain and snow along the I-95 corridor just in time for the morning commute. We'll get to the forecast in just a moment, but first, Matt Rivers leads us off from LaGuardia Airport tonight.
Tonight, dangerous storms threatening millions on both coasts as the record holiday travel rush kicks into high gear. Harrowing new video showing first responders rescuing a baby, carefully sliding its baby carrier across a ladder just feet above the roaring rapids northeast of Sacramento, California. Rounds of heavy rain, flooding, and mountain snow pummeling the west. Authorities in Redding say one person was killed.
It's pretty bad. We're a little bit nervous about even trying to go over.
This family forced to turn around to avoid flooding in Bella Vista. And tonight, major cities from Detroit to New York and Boston bracing for a blast of rain and snow that could snarl the morning commute and holiday travel.
More than 122 million Americans, more than 50 miles from home this holiday season. That's a record. And here at LaGuardia Airport, one American flight set to take off every 10 minutes.
Some flyers getting to the airport early ahead of that incoming storm.
We wanted to get here early just to make sure everything was good.
Storms causing a temporary ground stop in San Francisco. That after a substation fire knocked out power to 130,000 customers across San Francisco just days before Christmas. Traffic lights out, leading to incredible scenes. Self-driving Waymo taxis blocking intersections, causing major traffic backups.
And Whit, back here at LaGuardia Airport, with that storm expected to move in overnight, concerns mounting over delays and cancellations tomorrow morning. Whit.
All right, Matt Rivers for us. Thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Danny Beckstrom from our New York station WABC. And Danny, more dangerous weather on the move tonight.
Yeah, we are still watching the dangerous flood threat developing in the west, but let's start in the northeast, where a quick burst of rain and snow will create slick travel conditions starting first thing Tuesday morning. Slushy roads from New York City to Boston with several inches of snow for upstate New York and interior New England, moving on by Tuesday night. While in the west, California still dealing with downpours, heavy mountain snow, and then high wind. The focus of the heavy rain in northern California on Tuesday night before shifting south early Wednesday. A rare high risk for flash flooding issued for parts of southern California on Christmas Eve, when inches and inches of rain will lead to life-threatening flash flooding, especially near burn scars. The rest of the country looks relatively quiet. Christmas Eve, chilly and quieter here in the Northeast. Record challenging warmth in the center of the country. Whit?
All right. Thank you, Danny Beckstrom. President Trump tonight addressing the latest high-stakes chase off the coast of Venezuela. U.S. officials saying an oil tanker steered out of the Caribbean and into the Atlantic Ocean after the Coast Guard tried to seize it. It comes as the president late today announced a new class of battleship named after him that will make what he calls a golden fleet. ABC's Selena Wang following the president in Palm Beach.
Tonight, President Trump announcing the U.S. is still actively pursuing a sanctioned oil tanker that fled into the Atlantic Ocean after the Coast Guard tried to seize it on Sunday.
Yeah, we're actually pursuing it. Can you imagine? Because it came from the wrong location. It came out of Venezuela, and it was sanctioned.
According to a U.S. official, the tanker called Bella 1 was on its way to pick up oil in Venezuela and was not carrying cargo when the U.S. attempted to board. The ship was not flying a legitimate national flag, the official says, giving the Coast Guard legal authority to intervene. It marks the third time in less than 2 weeks that the U.S. has targeted oil tankers linked to Venezuela. The Trump administration ramping up pressure on the country's oil exports, the economic lifeline of President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Trump asked tonight, what is his goal with Venezuela?
What's your end game?
There's no answer. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, we have a massive Armada had, and by far the biggest we've ever had in South America. He could do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
The president pressed again. Does he
force Maduro from power?
I think probably that's up to him what he wants to do. I think it would be smart for him to do that. But again, we're going to find out.
And Whit, tonight, President Trump also announced a new class of battleships named after him to be 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. Whit.
Selena Wang for us tonight. We appreciate it. Turning to the growing backlash over the Jeffrey Epstein files, the Department of Justice missing a key deadline to release all of the Epstein photos and documents. Now, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is under fire, facing a bipartisan threat of legal action from lawmakers pushing to have her held in contempt. And tonight, the new response from a spokesperson for former President Bill Clinton. ABC's Jay O'Brien reports from Capitol Hill.
Tonight, growing backlash after the Department of Justice missed the legal deadline to release all of its Jeffrey Epstein files. Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle now threatening legal action. The two congressmen behind the new law forcing the release of the files, pressing for a House vote to hold Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt.
They're flat the spirit and
by law, the DOJ had Friday to release all of its Epstein-related records. But sources tell ABC News what the department published was just a fraction of its Epstein files, and reams of released records are heavily redacted. Entire pages blacked out. Writing told there are hundreds of thousands of pages of documents still unreleased. These are clear-cut violations of an unambiguous law.
We have pages and pages of grand jury testimony that are completely black, and then there have been survivor names that have been released. And so it just feels absolutely intentionally careless at this point.
Among the thousands of records already released, photos of former President Bill Clinton and Epstein. No Epstein survivor has ever accused Clinton of wrongdoing. And tonight, a Clinton spokesperson challenging the DOJ to immediately release any remaining materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of Bill Clinton. Refusing to do so will confirm the widespread suspicion the Department of Justice's actions to date are not about but about insinuation. Tonight, in his first remarks since the files started to be released, President Trump asked about the photos made public so far.
A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin a reputation of somebody. So a lot of people are very angry that this continues.
And with the DOJ drawing scrutiny tonight for removing more than
a dozen, double checking to make sure the identities of victims were not released. This photo was later restored. The Deputy Attorney General promising that any photo or mention of President Trump in these files will be made public.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you for that.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to this ABC News. So, yeah, they said a whole bunch of them files was redacted. But you could have told you that. They're making a big deal out of this. That's why it's a topic of discussion. Now, Trump's regime change ramps up with blockade of Venezuelan oil. So that's what I'm going to play next. Shabaka'S should be getting in here in about 5 minutes. So Amy Goodman gonna give us an update on that.
By the largest army. President Trump has ordered a total and complete blockade of sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela as the U.S. ramps up pressure on the government of Nicolas Maduro. The blockade comes amidst a major U.S. military buildup in the region and days after the U.S. seized an oil tanker filled with Venezuelan oil. In a post on
Okay, greetings, Shabaka. Thank you for tuning into your own show, Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced.
Wow, man, y'all been on for 42 minutes already?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, I had called you and texted you, Shabaka.
Yeah, because I saw the text, man, and that's why I did it. Okay, let me get this Bluetooth on. It's cold in a motherfucker out here, man.
That's 45 here now.
Yeah.
So we already went over Westmore's reparations study, Veto, Overridden.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to growing backlash after DOJ missed its deadline to release Epstein files. They're trying to hold the ICE queen, as they call her,
the
court.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm on to the situation down in Venezuela with the oil.
Okay. And then also, too, the bomb cyclone is getting ready to hit the West Coast.
Yeah, I played that, too.
Damn, boy, shit. Okay. All righty. Yeah, because I keep forgetting you're an hour ahead. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. All right, can you hear me on the Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me make sure the Bluetooth is on. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, now I'm turning on the Bluetooth. Okay.
All right, so that's what I covered so far.
Okay, all righty. Okay, I'm on the Bluetooth. Okay. All right. So
the social.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Trump wrote, quote, Venezuela's completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before, unquote. Since September, the U.S. military has also carried out at least 25 airstrikes on alleged drug boats without offering evidence in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific near Venezuela, killing at least 95 people. On Tuesday, Vanity Fair published excerpts of bombshell interviews with Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, in which she suggested the aim of the boat strikes is to topple Maduro. Wiles said, quote, Trump wants to keep on blowing boats up until Maduro cries, uncle, and people way smarter than me. On that, say that he will, unquote. On Tuesday, President Maduro denounced the U.S. actions.
We tell the people of the United States our truth, and it is very clear. Imperialism and the Nazi fascist right wing want to colonize Venezuela to take our wealth, oil, gas, gold, iron, aluminum, and other minerals. We have sworn to defend our homeland, and in Venezuela, peace will always prevail, along with stability and shared happiness for our people. To the people of the United States, we say again and again, 1 and 1,000 times.
No blood for oil. No war for oil. Eso del narcotráfico.
The claims about drug trafficking are fake news, a lie, an excuse. Since they cannot accuse us of weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons, or nuclear missiles, they invent another pretext to create another Afghanistan, another Libya. And with moral authority and with God's blessing, I say,
no more Vietnam, no more Afghanistan, no more Libya, no more Iraq, no more war eternal, no, 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 and no.
We know we are morally and spiritually in the right.
We're joined now by the Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, Yale University professor Greg Grandin. His latest book, America, A New History of the New World. He has a recent piece in the New York Times headline, Trump's dated strategy is putting us on a path to World War III. Welcome back to Democracy Now!, Professor Grandin. Can you start off by responding to what's happening right now? We are doing this broadcast before President Trump makes his address to the nation tonight. Unclear what that's about, but talk about the latest developments with Venezuela.
Well, it is an unprecedented military buildup. It's probably bigger than what the Spanish Empire sent to retake Spain in the 1820s in terms of sheer destructive force. And the classification of fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction and all sorts of presidential announcements that, trying to lay a legal justification for this. And of course, as this is going on, they're still blowing up speedboats in the Caribbean and the Pacific. And as you mentioned, Susan Wiles, the secretary, the chief of staff of Trump, said that this had nothing to do with narco-terrorism, that Trump actually doesn't really care about drugs coming into the country. This is really just setting up and hoping to induce a regime change in Venezuela. And Venezuela is really just the first step. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State from Florida, from South Florida, whose family is not itself is not uninvolved in drug trafficking, sees it in very ideological terms. He's Cuban, and for whatever reason, they see Venezuela as the first step of finally bringing down the Cuban Revolution and bringing Cuba back into the orbit of the United States. And then from there, of course, it's Nicaragua. And we just saw this election in Chile, which I know you're going to talk about later with Ariel Dorfman. But Latin America really is on a kind of knife's edge between the left and the right. We see in Argentina, Javier Milei, and what the United States is willing to do to keep him in power. Billions and billions of dollars, not just through the Treasury Department, but also through the IMF to prop up the peso. Honduras, there's all sorts of machinations going on there in terms of the election that the U.S. was involved in, and so that really leaves Latin America divided, almost unprecedentedly divided. In the past, Latin America tended to be coherent, and I tend to be all dictatorships or all kind of center-left presidents. And now we have a continent that's split angularly down the middle. And the image is quite stark. You have Brazil and you have Mexico. And those are the two bulwarks of Latin America. And ultimately, if you're going to get Latin America under control and back under the U.S.'s umbrella, you have to confront those two countries. Ultimately, that is the end goal. And this is in the larger context of a dramatic reversal of U.S. foreign policy. The total renunciation of liberal internationalism. Now, liberal internationalism as an ideal, there was a big gap between in practice and as it actually function. But the idea was that the United States would superintend a world governed by common laws. The Trump administration announced in its national security strategy document, which it put out last week or a couple of weeks ago, that the bipartisan consensus that came out of the Cold War has failed. And it had been essentially announced implicitly that what it sees as replacing it is a Monroe Doctrine for the entire world. Right. The way the United States acted with impunity to seize, to kill, and to sanction, it could do anywhere.
Which brings us to what Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just said at the Reagan Defense Forum. He said, quote, "The Monroe Doctrine is in effect."
After years of neglect, the United States will restore U.S. military dominance in the Western Hemisphere. We will use it to protect our homeland and access to key terrain throughout the region. We will also deny adversaries' ability to position forces or other threatening capabilities in our hemisphere. Past administrations perpetuated the belief that the Monroe Doctrine had expired. They were wrong. The Monroe Doctrine is in effect, and it is stronger than ever under the Trump corollary. A common sense restoration of our power and prerogatives in this hemisphere, consistent with U.S. interests.
That was Defense Secretary Hegseth. I wanted to ask you, though, Greg, Latin America is not the same region that it was 100 years ago or that it was 50 years ago. And when you mentioned this split in the region, I'm not so sure I agree with you on that. Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia are the three largest nations in Latin America. They have half the population of the entire region. And all three of those countries are being led still by progressive left-wing orient, are going to back a U.S. Invasion, not to mention some of the smaller countries like Cuba or Nicaragua. And so we're in a situation where the United States is trying to impose a past that no longer exists. I'm wondering what you think, even if the intervention were to occur, and it seems likely that's going to happen just in time to eclipse any news of the release of the Epstein files, the ability of the United States to impose its chosen leader on Venezuela is going to be severely restricted, not only by the international condemnation, but also by the fact that the Venezuelan military has been politicized directly over years now as a result of the Chavez revolution. So they're not likely just to lay down their arms and allow the U.S. to come in.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And that's what I meant, that the region was split, and that in Mexico and Brazil, if they're not isolated, then there is no kind of broader U.S. hegemony over the region, and certainly Colombia also, although there's elections coming up in Colombia, and that country is going to be in play. But I think Mexico and Brazil are secure for now. But yes, and then speaking about Venezuela, it's unclear what the actual action is going to be. I mean, it's just stopping, the sanction and blockade on the oil tankers are going to put enormous pressure on Venezuela to, in terms of food, in terms of being able to import food and feed its people, and what that's going to be. The sanctions are already incredibly punishing. That was bipartisan consensus going back decades to even to Obama. We might see some massive show of force, some targeted strikes, but you're absolutely right. Venezuela is not Libya. It's not going to collapse. I think there is a kind of embedded structure that on the one hand there is a radicalized sector of the population. On the other hand, there are there are people invested in a kind of militarized corruption that does structure some of the ways the country is governed, and Maduro could or could not go, but that doesn't necessarily mean the United States is going to have its way and just be able to install a puppet like it did in Chile in '73 or Guatemala in '54 or any number of coups in the past. It's a dangerous game. I was sitting out in the waiting room today and just now, a second ago, and CNN talked about a second near crash between a private jet and some U.S. military force. I mean, they're really pushing it to the max. And, of course, these murders and on the high seas. Now we have an admission from the administration that this is just, this has nothing to do with drugs. It has everything to do with Maduro. These are innocent people. It's like he's like the Red Queen in Alice. You execute, then you have the trial, and then you have the conviction, and then you have the trial. He does everything backwards. We're living in like an Alice in Wonderland foreign policy in Latin America. But Latin America is confused. There's tension within Latin America. Petro said that he wouldn't shake President-elect Cast's hand. This is a Nazi, and he was immediately rebuked by Boris, a central leftist. So there's also a lot of tension within Latin America about how to respond to the United States. That kind of unity that existed coming out of the 2000s, when Chavez was president and Lula was the president of Brazil, and you had Kirchner in Argentina, and you had Bachelet in Chile, and it was a very rhetorically strong and dominant form of social democracy that really commanded the rhetorical field. I think what we're seeing here is a lot of confusion about how to deal with Trump, just like the rest of the world. It is in some ways the madman doctrine of diplomacy, except the madman doctrine was supposed to be a performance, an act. But we actually have a madman in the White House in some ways.
Well, but this whole the issue is clearly the key aspect of this in Venezuela that distinguishes Venezuela from all the other governments that in the region that Trump may not like is these vast oil reserves. Yeah. That on the one hand, could you talk about the importance of these oil reserves and also the fact that the American people, by and large, all the polls indicate they have no interest in the United States launching a war against Venezuela because Venezuela has not posed any threat to the United States.
Yeah, and that's interesting. And it's I think that's one of the reasons why it's taking Trump so long to figure out what to do. He may be a madman, but he's not completely irrational. He does calculate, and there is obviously no bloodthirst within the rank and file of the Trump administration for a ground war in Venezuela, and certainly not within the country as a whole. And so he's responding to that. Then there's the calculus of, well, distraction. The Epstein files, will this distract, or will people make the connection that we're doing it to distract? And, there's a lot of independent, we've heard about how the Republican ecosphere, information sphere is kind of fracturing and coming apart and eating each other. Venezuela does have oil, but there's lots of ways of getting Venezuela's oil. I mean, Maduro has basically offered it up. Chevron, as we speak, is pumping oil and sending it to Port Arthur in Texas to be processed. There's lots of ways to get control. It doesn't. So a war with Venezuela over oil is an ideological war, and it's led by the Marco Rubio faction, the war party within the Trump administration, that sees Latin America in very ideological terms, in which Venezuela is the first step to contain a left that, yes, is still strong and still, has quite a purchase. I mean, even in Chile, right, 42% of the population voted for a communist woman in one of the most socially conservative countries in Latin America. That's not nothing. I mean, it's a shame we got the Nazi, but 42% of the country voted for Jeanette Jara, who is a communist woman. That speaks, I think, to the strength of the ongoing strength of the left, but. There isn't a coherent strategy of how to deal with the United States. I mean, any country going to come to Venezuela's aid to try to get the oil out? I don't think Colombia can risk that. There are ways in which you can imagine Colombia trying to get Venezuela's oil out, but do they want to provoke the United States to that degree? It's a little unclear. So I think everything's up in the air and on the table at this moment. Anything can happen, and I guess things will be clarified by the speech or not.
Thanks for watching.
All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on that? Lady Chase says hi.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Lady Che, how are you? Where's the kitty?
about it?
Oh, they're right here.
I've been back here. I fell asleep. I didn't even know Justin was back, and I woke up
Florida
and I was
Blacc.
like just trippy. And then he said, "I'm on the show." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize to my baby." I woke up. I forgot I was here in his house. Then it was like 74 degrees. I've been here in tropical shit. And I felt like somebody was blowing in my ear, like my face was on fire. I was just tripping. I was like,
Yo, that's 74 degrees.
It
No,
was
it's
no
like
in
that
my
house.
apartment, Shabaka. It was it was in the 60s today though. Yesterday it was in the 70s.
yeah, you got to turn it up because it's
Okay.
getting cold out there. Because my heart
Okay.
drops when the temperature drops. And so
Right.
he left, it was already kind of dark.
Yeah, they got the whole state of California under a flood watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got a storm in the Bay Area right now. I just spoke with a loved one up in that region. Okay, and they say the temperature is cold.
Yeah.
And
Gonna go. Tomorrow
and they having
right?
a bomb cyclone, as they call it.
Yep.
Oh, it's been
Las Vegas International Airport is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're starting to see some precipitation outside. Okay.
Yeah, you couldn't replay it because I played the whole thing.
Yes, but I'm well, carry on. I'm here though. I'm present.
From ABC News.
Right.
I shared it already too.
And then let me say, tomorrow's December the 24th. And if you see some fat motherfucker wearing a red suit coming down your chimney, beat his ass. That's a burglar.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
Northeast
like
brace for a blast
Fridays.
of rain and snow. More
News of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the dangerous storms on both coasts, just as the record begins. Relentless rain and flooding slamming the west. Dramatic new video showing first responders rescuing a baby above roaring rapids as millions in the Northeast brace for a blast of rain and snow. More than 122 million Americans set to travel over the holidays. Our weather team tracking the impacts. Tonight, President Trump announcing the U.S. is still actively pursuing a sanctioned oil tanker after the U.S. Coast Guard tried to seize it in the Caribbean. The Jeffrey Epstein files triggering a fight for transparency. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi under fire, facing a wave of backlash tonight as demands grow for all of the documents to be released. And the new statement from a spokesperson for former President Bill Clinton. The swimmer reported missing after reports of a possible shark attack, what witnesses say they saw in the water. An alarming high-speed car chase and crash. Police say an 11-year-old boy was behind the wheel with two more young children inside. What they allegedly told officers about where they learned to steal cars. Barry Manilow's health battle, the legendary singer sharing his cancer diagnosis. An encounter with a shoplifting suspect taking a frightening turn. Body camera video showing the chilling moments a man pulls a gun on an officer inside a Walmart. An aviation first, a small plane losing contact with the control tower, landing itself with two people on board. The Steelers' DK Metcalf accused of taking a swing at a Lions fan, and the punishment handed down just moments ago. The Powerball jackpot soaring to $1.6 billion for tonight's drawing, the fifth biggest prize on record. And America Strong tonight, remembering the nation's oldest park ranger passing away at 104 years old, her trailblazing legacy of commitment and service.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, I'm Whit Johnson, and for David tonight, we begin with the dangerous weather threats on both coasts, just as millions of Americans are on the move ahead of the Christmas holiday. Major roads and airports bracing for what's on track to be a record-setting travel period. More than 30 million people across California on alert, facing days of heavy rain and life-threatening flash flooding. And a close watch on the Northeast tonight. A quick blast of rain and snow along the I-95 corridor just in time for the morning commute. We'll get to the forecast in just a moment, but first, Matt Rivers leads us off from LaGuardia Airport tonight.
Tonight, dangerous storms threatening millions on both coasts as The record holiday travel rush kicks into high gear. Harrowing new video showing first responders rescuing a baby, carefully sliding its baby carrier across a ladder just feet above the roaring rapids northeast of Sacramento, California. Rounds of heavy rain, flooding, and mountain snow pummeling the West. Authorities regretting to say one person was killed.
It's pretty bad. We're a little bit nervous about even trying to go over.
This family forced to turn around to avoid flooding in Buena Vista. And tonight, major cities from Detroit to New York and Boston brace.
22 million Americans set to travel more than 50 miles from home this holiday season. That's a record. And here at LaGuardia Airport, one American flight set to take off every 10 minutes.
Some flyers getting to the airport early, ahead of that incoming storm.
We wanted to get here early just to make sure everything was good.
Storms causing a temporary ground stop in San Francisco. That after a substation fire knocked self-driving Waymo taxis blocking intersections, causing major traffic backups. And back here at LaGuardia Airport, with that storm expected to move in overnight, concerns mounting over delays and cancellations tomorrow morning.
All right, Matt Rivers for us. Thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Danny Beckstrom from our New York station WABC. And Danny, more dangerous weather on the move tonight.
Yeah, we are still watching the dangerous flood threat developing in the west, but let's start in the northeast, where a quick burst of rain and snow will create slick travel conditions starting first thing Tuesday morning. Slushy roads from New York City to Boston with several inches of snow for upstate New York and interior New England, moving on by Tuesday night. While in the west, California still dealing with downpours, heavy mountain snow, and then high wind. The focus of the heavy rain in Northern California on Tuesday night before shifting south early Wednesday, a rare high risk for flash flooding issued for parts of Southern California on Christmas Eve, when inches and inches of rain will lead to life-threatening flash flooding, especially near burn scars. The rest of the country looks relatively quiet. Christmas Eve, chilly and quieter here in the Northeast. Record challenging warmth in the center of the country. Whit?
All right, thank you, Danny Beckstrom. President Trump tonight addressing the latest high-stakes chase off the coast of Venezuela. U.S. officials saying an oil tanker steered out of the Caribbean and into the Atlantic Ocean after the Coast Guard tried to seize it. It comes as the president late today announced a new class of battleship named after him that will make what he calls a golden fleet.
Y'all gonna be underwater. You don't be steal no more water from us. You gonna be underwater.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm in a second story building. That's why I don't live on the first floor out here. You know? Because one time the water came through this motherfucker, then you could see the water going up under the first floor doors. You know what I'm saying?
Trump's so arrogant, Shabaka. He want a whole battleship named after him.
Man, okay, see, now let me explain something to you. Now, from what I understand, right, the only way, man, the motherfucker can get a battleship named after him, man, is he got to be a veteran. Trump ain't no veteran.
Right. He's a draft dodger.
Oh, yeah. The draft dodger. And to all you assholes out there that's been inboxing me talking about Muhammad Ali being a coward and a draft dodger, how come y'all ain't saying nothing about this no good bastard?
Right.
The hypocrisy is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is real.
Selena Wang following the president in Palm Beach.
Tonight, President Trump announcing the U.S. is still actively pursuing a sanctioned oil tanker that fled into the Atlantic Ocean after the Coast Guard tried to seize it on Sunday.
Yeah, we're actually pursuing it. Can you imagine? Because it came from the wrong location. It came out of Venezuela, and it was sanctioned.
According to a U.S. official, the tanker called Bella 1 was on its way to pick up oil in Venezuela and was not carrying cargo when the U.S. attempted to board. The ship was not flying a legitimate national flag, the official says, giving the Coast Guard legal authority to intervene. It marks the third time in less than 2 weeks that the U.S. has targeted oil tankers linked to Venezuela. The Trump administration ramping up pressure on the country's oil exports, the economic lifeline of President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Trump asked tonight, what is his goal with Venezuela?
What's your end game?
There's no answer. He can do whatever he wants. I mean, we have a massive armada formed the biggest we've ever had, and by far the biggest we've ever had in South America. He could do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
The president pressed again. Does he want regime change?
Ultimate goal in Venezuela to force Maduro from power.
Well, I think it probably would. I can't tell that. That's up to him what he wants to do. I think it would be smart for him to do that. But again, we're going to find out.
And with tonight, President Trump also announced a new class of battleships named after himself. As he moves to revamp the U.S. naval fleet, Trump claims that they'll be 100 times more powerful than any battleship ever built. With
Selena Wang for us tonight. We appreciate it. Turning.
Hell no, Shabaka.
No, man. No, the man is ill,
Shabaka.
Man. Dude is ill, man. The motherfucker is psychologically unstable. Seriously. So if you assholes in the motherfucking Congress, y'all could probably remove that motherfucker. What's that there? Article, what's that there? The 25th Amendment? If I got it
25th
right.
Amendment.
Yeah. Okay, because Trump, I'm speechless.
Congress, Shabaka. They don't have that. They don't even have a third of the Congress.
Yeah, I know. And the cold part about it is that a lot of these impeachment laws have went untested. What do I mean by untested? No president has ever been removed from office under an impeachment.
Right.
They say, so they need to see how that theory works, is because as far as I'm concerned, unless I see the motherfucker impeached and removed, man, it's still a theory.
Yeah, it's still a theory, Shabaka. And last time it was in office, they impeached him twice and nothing happened.
Okay. And if they go impeach this motherfucker a third time, man, and don't remove him, man, then it's all lies.
Yep.
You got a convicted liar. You got a convicted felon on multiple counts, right?
Yeah.
And he still is the head of state.
Yep.
And then he gets mad at people who criticize him, right?
Say that you're deranged. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, which is derangement. Now, a motherfucker like me, if I was the damn president, man, and all you controversial motherfuckers out there don't like me, fine. Let's go on CNN. Mm-hmm. You know? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and no president has ever been removed from office through the impeachment process. So for all practical purposes, it's just in theory. Because, I mean, look at the shit that he is doing.
Hot off the presses, DNC blocked release of 2024 election autopsy on why Kamala Harris lost despite spending billions.
Yeah. Well, any woman who calls herself the vice president wearing tennis shoes on official duty, you're disrespecting the job right there.
Right.
I mean, I'm seeing this broad go up Air Force One, Air Force Two, Air Force 3.5, wearing tennis shoes.
But I'm not going to do nothing for black people. No,
exactly. And then you get old Sambo up there finger wagging to the thugs up there in Detroit. Oh, you all don't want a black woman and all this. Hey, bruh, everybody loves greens, right? How you going to trust the motherfucker washing greens in the bathtub?
Yeah, or to the no.
Exactly. Hell, everybody knows how to do fucking greens. You know?
And you don't clean them in no bathtub.
Exactly. And then her infidelities, you see what I'm saying? You know, it's all public record. Her and low down Willie Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then of course, and I still have the newspaper clipping, Brother Che, that I read a while back, man, from the San Francisco Chronicle. No prosecutors are the ones that killed Mario Woods.
Yeah. Oscar.
I mean, yeah. You know, that's overkill. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I may say, not getting off topic, Brother Che, I finally watched to the end of Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Oh, God, finally.
Yeah.
Okay,
The scene, where the brother was sitting there on the beach reading the essays of Nat Turner.
Or the Nat Turner.
And you see him.
Book.
Yeah, and you see him looking at the white fella, and he's just filled up with all that rage. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then, of course, when they went in there and they put in that work, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But we said supposed to forget about slavery. Well, the Irish and all that. The Irish own slaves too. Now, idiot that who I was debating with on the idiot book. Okay. Well, you had black slave owners, you know. Motherfucker, you full of shit. They were buying their relatives.
Exactly that part.
You see? Yeah, because I was speaking to a family member earlier this evening and we got on that subject. You see what I'm saying? You know, and then of course, like with the Black Wall Street, of course, with Seneca
Village.
Village. Yeah, okay. The Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just how much abuse are we supposed to sit here and take?
Enough is enough, Shabaka.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just how much abuse are we supposed to sit here and take? See, and then you got the tetherism. You see what I'm saying? And then I should have some more feedback on why Ibrahim Traore had rescinded his dual citizenship. Okay.
Yeah, Ted Cruz says Representative Ilhan Omar may be deported if marriage allegation proves true.
Okay, well, when I found out that Ilhan Omar was not for reparations for black people in America, I lost 95% sympathy for her cause.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what have you. And then just like who is the broad man that we did the video on a few months back, I'm just here to take.
I'm not trying to get
okay.
I'm trying to build with you, Black America. I come here to take.
Yeah. And then who was the sister that told that nigga who was saying that same bullshit? And the sister told him, I said, well, if your black ass was down there in Wilmington, North Carolina in 1963, I believe, 62, 63, your black ass would have been treated the same fucking way.
Yeah, but Muhammad Ali proved that wrong because Muhammad Ali said that he's seen Africans going into those same restaurants and they were speaking French. And I played that for you.
Okay, whoa. Okay, now, Brother Che, what's the source of this information in regard to Mr. Ali? Because I've read his autobiography twice, and I don't recall him saying it in his autobiography.
It was BBC, Shabaka. They took the video down.
Okay, and I do know that there was something where there was a situation with him and his asshole David Soskin that got off into it, right?
Yeah, he was talking about I got kicked out of one of those restaurants in the South, and he said that he's seen Africans go on there. Africans in there.
Okay, but do you know the same thing also happened to Mr. Ali here in Las Vegas too? After he beat up Floyd Patterson the first time they fought.
Yeah.
And that's when he went to Patterson's training camp and gave them all them carrots. And he says, man, I'm calling you the rabbit.
Kentucky, in his hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. He said they wouldn't serve him, but they served these Africans, and they were speaking French.
I would like to see that. Not doubting your wisdom, but I would just like to see it.
You did see it, Shabaka. I played it right for you. They took the video down, though.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And man, we just got to be self-sufficient, people, you know, because we are sitting up here throughout the whole goddamn world of having these motherfuckers playing us like pawns. And the cold part about it is that our people had to show these other individuals how to wash their funky, stinking, nasty asses.
Yeah, they had hit me with a copyright. I had to take the video down.
Damn.
All right, so I'm gonna let that world news continue.
All right.
To the growing backlash over the Jeffrey Epstein files, the Department of Justice missing a key deadline to release all of the Epstein photos and documents. Now, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is under fire, facing a bipartisan threat of legal action from lawmakers pushing to have her held in contempt. And tonight, the new response from a spokesperson for former President Bill Clinton. ABC's Jay O'Brien reports from Capitol Hill.
Tonight, growing backlash missed the legal deadline to release all of its Jeffrey Epstein files. Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle now threatening legal action. The two congressmen behind the new law forcing the release of the files, pressing for a House vote to hold Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt.
They're flouting the spirit and the letter of the law. It's very troubling, the posture that they've taken.
By law, the DOJ had until last Friday to release all of its Epstein-related records. But sources tell ABC News what the department published was just a fraction of its Epstein files, and reams of released records are heavily redacted, entire pages blacked out. In a statement, more than a dozen Epstein survivors, including Danny Bensky, writing, "We are told there are hundreds of thousands of pages of documents still unreleased. These are clear-cut violations of an unambiguous law."
We have pages and pages of grand jury testimony that are completely black, and then there have been survivor names that have been released. And so it just feels absolutely intentionally careless at this point.
Among the thousands of records already released, photos of former President Bill Clinton and Epstein. No Epstein survivor has ever accused Clinton of wrongdoing. And tonight, a Clinton spokesperson challenging the DOJ to immediately release any remaining materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of Bill Clinton. Refusing to do so will confirm the widespread suspicion the Department of Justice's actions to date are not about transparency, but about insinuation. Tonight, in his first remarks since the files started to be released, President Trump asked about the photos made public so far.
A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin the reputation of somebody. So a lot of people are very angry that this continues.
And with the DOJ drawing scrutiny tonight for removing more than a dozen previously released photos, including one of President Trump saying it was double checking to make sure the identities of victims were not released. This photo was later restored. The Deputy Attorney General promising that any photo or mention of President Trump in these files will be made public.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you for that. Tonight, a swimmer who witnesses say was attacked by a shark is missing off the coast of Monterey, California. The 55-year-old woman last seen Sunday afternoon. Here's ABC's Melissa Adam with the latest on the search efforts.
Yeah, she's
Tonight, a woman still missing off the Central California coast after a possible shark attack, setting off an urgent search.
Possible water rescue, 630 Ocean View, the Lover's Point. It looks like it's going to be a shark sighting.
The first calls coming in around noon on Sunday, according to Pacific Grove Police. A group was in the area near Monterey for a weekly swim, but one of the swimmers never returned.
Something we got was that the subject was about 50 to 100 yards from shore.
There was a large splash that was seen by a witness up here on the shoreline. And
from that. All the other swimmers
That's
came
pretty
in because
close.
They thought maybe it was possibly a shark attack.
The U.S. Coast Guard telling ABC News at least one witness reported
My
seeing
money's
a
on it
shark
that it
with a
is.
person in its mouth before it went back underwater, but they are still investigating. Police say the missing swimmer is reported to be a 55-year-old blonde woman with blue eyes. Late today, the Coast Guard suspended its search for that swimmer who remains missing. This as several beaches along California's central.
So much. Now to the wild police chase involving an 11-year-old driver and 2 other kids who police say learned to steal and drive cars.
Yeah, that brought a shark food. That shark.
Yeah, she's done. She's done. Yeah, she is done. Condolences to her family. She's gone.
Right. And then this next story, these badass kids. Oh my God. This poor.
They learned to steal a car online. Well,
on the internet,
little
the car
badass
ended
kids,
up crashing into a house in
you're gonna
Cleveland.
fuck around
and
and
video
find
tonight
out.
of the 3 young suspects caught and placed in handcuffs. ABC's Stephanie Ramos with new details.
Tonight, dramatic new video showing police in hot pursuit of a stolen car in Cleveland with 3 young children inside. The dangerous chase reaching speeds of more than 70 miles per hour before suddenly the car crashes into a house. Several children seen running away as police arrive. Body camera video shows the moment officers caught the young suspects at gunpoint.
On the ground! On the ground! On the ground right now! You're in there? Get over here now!
A 12-year-old boy, an 11-year-old boy who police say was driving, as well as his 8-year-old brother.
We'll call parents in a second. You guys are doing good. Thank you for complying.
Going to jail?
We're not going to jail right now. You're going to be detained, okay? Just keep on the-
All placed in handcuffs.
Oh, you little
Tonight, authorities say
motherfucker.
the
That's what
children
happens if you play fuck around grown up.
cars by watching
I
videos
ain't got no
online.
sympathy for his little ass.
Not injured. They're now facing.
You're lucky they didn't get shot.
Yeah, right. Let him go fuck with my shit.
Then look at the officers that shoot them.
Well, of course, had they would have been black, of course, it would have been a different outcome.
Oh, they were black. Those are black kids.
Really? There was?
Yeah. That's why I said I'm surprised they didn't get shot, but damn. They stole a car. They learned how to steal a car online. And then they went ahead and did that.
My.
Charges in juvenile court.
Such an alarming case. Stephanie Ramos, thank you. A routine shoplifting incident at the Walmart in Canton, Ohio turned into a terrifying scene last week when the thief suddenly pulled a gun on the police officer making the arrest. Body cam footage shows the suspect aiming straight for the officer. Fortunately, the gun did not discharge.
No, if he would have been black, he would have been shot and killed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, another Tamir Rice.
Yeah, but those kids would have been a Tamir Rice. This little bastard here, he would have been another Tamir Rice situation.
Yep.
Despite multiple attempts, the suspect is being held on $1 million.
They got him on $1 million bond.
Bond.
Look at it.
Legendary singer Barry Manilow revealing tonight he's been diagnosed with lung cancer. The 82-year-old sharing the revelation to fans on social media. Manilow putting his concerts on pause and preparing for surgery. Here's ABC's Victor Oquendo.
Oh, I can't smile without you.
Tonight, Barry Manilow, the iconic American singer and songwriter with a career spanning more than 60 years, revealing he has lung cancer.
Looks like we made it.
Celebrated around the world for a string of #1 hits,
Oh, Mandy.
beginning in the 1970s. Tonight, the 82-year-old saying his lung cancer was found by surprise during an MRI after suffering from months of bronchitis, sharing that he will undergo surgery to remove a cancerous spot on his left lung, saying it's thanks to, quote, pure luck and a great doctor that it was found so early, adding the doctors do not believe it has spread. It was just 5 years ago Manilow battled and successfully recovered from throat cancer. He's told reporters in the past He was a smoker for years. Tonight, he is encouraging others to not ignore symptoms and get tested. And Whit, Barry Manilow is postponing his 2026 tour by a few weeks, including here in Florida, adding his treatment includes, quote, no chemo, no radiation, just chicken soup and I Love Lucy reruns. Whit.
That sense of humor, we are thinking about him and his family. Victor, thank you. When we come back here tonight, the breaking news just coming in. A plane crash in Texas also had 3 inmates, including a murder suspect, breaking out of a Georgia jail this morning, setting off a manhunt. Plus, an aviation first, a plane safely lands itself after losing contact with the air traffic control tower. And the NFL handing down a punishment after a physical exchange between DK Metcalf of the Pittsburgh Steelers and a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah, why do you think he punched him, Shabaki? My guess is he called him in.
Mm-hmm.
Next tonight, breaking news. A small plane crash near Galveston, Texas. Just moments ago, the Mexican Navy confirming that one of their planes on a medical support mission went down near Galveston. The Coast Guard launching a boat and helicopter to search for the plane. Multiple agencies are on the scene, and the FAA is heading there as well. Tonight, there are reports of casualties. The urgent search for 3 inmates, including a murder suspect. The 3 escaped from DeKalb County Jail early this morning. Stevenson Charles is accused of murder and armed robbery. The other 2 inmates face charges that include armed robbery and arson. Authorities say they should all be considered armed and dangerous. When we come back, the NFL star suspended for 2 games after an altercation with a fan. And could you become a billionaire before Christmas? The Powerball jackpot soars to $1.6 billion.
Damn.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hit nowhere in
to
the
the
black
index
community.
now, what could be a remarkable aviation first, a small plane switching to automated technology for an emergency landing. It happened after the cabin lost pressure and the 2 pilots aboard the plane were forced to use oxygen masks on Saturday. The plane landed safely at an airport near Denver. Both pilots are okay. The FAA is now investigating. The NFL suspending the Pittsburgh Steelers' DK Metcalf for 2 games after an altercation with a Detroit Lions fan yesterday. Metcalf appears to grab the fan, then shove him. The fan claims that Metcalf was upset about being called by his full name. His attorney...
No, you called him a nigger. That's what that was.
Also denying a report that the fan used a racial slur during the encounter. Meanwhile,
Of course he used a racial slur.
Of course he did.
Face like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's my point right there. So that's provocation and what have you. I don't think that man will fuck off his career over some bullshit like that. You see what I'm saying? You know?
Right, I agree, Shabaki.
Damn. Boy. Yeah. The caucasity of it all.
Right, and they keep saying, "Oh, it confirms that Metcalf had previously reported he was called a racial slur," meaning they called him a nigger, and then they said, "Oh, that's not true." Yes,
right,
it's true. Why else would he do that?
ESPN confirmed that Metcalf had previously reported the same fan to the security team for the Seahawks before he was traded to the Steelers. Ahead of tonight's Powerball drawing, the jackpot has surged.
So that fan is stalking him.
Say that again.
That fan is stalking him.
Yeah. And hell, they made a movie with Robert De Niro called The Fan.
Yeah.
Where Robert De Niro was crazy in the motherfucker. You know?
Yeah. Okay, Powerball.
To $1.6 billion, making it the 5th largest drawing.
And ain't nobody
in
the black community gonna hit that shit.
No tickets matched all 6 numbers Saturday night. The chances of winning the jackpot are 1 in 292 million. A single jackpot winner would have the choice of taking the lump sum payment, estimated at $735 million. Good luck. When we come back, America Strong, remembering a trailblazer and the nation's oldest park ranger.
Yeah, that woman, she lives like, she's still alive. She's like in her hundreds.
Yeah.
And her sister too.
Yeah, being a park ranger. No, okay. Hey, Mr. Ranger, sir. Remember Yogi Bear?
Yeah. Hey, yo, boo boo. You pick me back. Yeah, the Ranger was fucking trip. Okay. So American Strong, remembering Betty Reid Soskin, the oldest National Park Service Ranger.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Progressive.
Finally tonight, remembering Betty Reid Soskin, America's oldest park ranger, America Strong. Tonight, we remember Betty Reid Soskin, the oldest park ranger in America, passing away at the age of 104 in Richmond, California. Born in Detroit in 1921, she was the great-granddaughter of a slave. In 1942, she became a file clerk in a segregated union hall that served black shipyard workers during World War II. Here she is at 20 years old, April 1942. When so many other women joined the war effort by working in the defense industry and other related jobs, Betty was excluded from those traditions.
I could have been either working in agriculture or I could have been a domestic servant. Working in a Jim Crow union hall was a step up.
She went on to marry and raise a family near Oakland, California, working on civil rights and equality, later helping to launch the Rosie the Riveter World War II Homefront National Historical Park in Richmond, California. When I did the, at 85 years old, becoming a park ranger there, retiring when she was 100 years old.
It is so important that we go back and revisit history to measure how far we've come.
Her Bay Area community.
She's a staple in Richmond. They named her whole school after her.
Betty Reid Soskin Middle School. Okay. Commonly referred to as junior high.
Even naming a school after her, the Betty Reid Soskin Middle School. Betty challenging injustice through her life's activism, encouraging others to find their purpose too.
People need heroes, and I'm maybe one of those. I think it's important we all follow our passions. We all need passions.
An inspiration to so many. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. Good night.
So she's like 104.
So that means she was born in 1921.
Yep.
Yeah, born in 1921.
Wow. So she was born the same year the Tulsa Race Massacre happened.
Right, that's why I said 1921. Yep. So she lived through a whole lot of history.
And now we're down to our last topic, Shabaka. And that's Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. He just destroyed racist white supremacist Charlie Kirk's legacy by doing this. Find the clip. Okay, here it is. So about the Street Media TV out of Philly, gonna give us an update on that.
Okay. And shout out there to WURD out of Philadelphia. They shouted us out.
Had a lot of. Well, on September 10th, 2025, we all witnessed the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. It was posted all over social media. It happened at Utah Valley University, where he was hitting the net. And when he got unalived, a lot of people start saying that he was compared to Martin Luther King Jr. The only thing that was in comparison was they was both hitting the net. But Charlie Kirk had a lot of controversial takes. He said a lot of disparaging things about the black community and other minority groups across the world. He had a lot of bad things to say. But in his unaliving, there was people that talked like this.
I felt Charlie Kirk getting killed is actually a bigger moment, a more seismic moment in history than Martin Luther King getting killed. Right?
So after the unaliving of Dr. King, it definitely
that tells me that motherfucker right there was not around April 4th, 1968.
He went through this, the Civil Rights Act of 64, 65, and then the Fair Housing Act of 1968. Dr. Martin Luther King and our grandparents.
Hell no, he wasn't around then, Shabaka. That cracker both sides of his ass.
Yeah, exactly. So he don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Front line fighting for racial equality. Now, there's a lot of things I agree with. There's some things that I disagree with. But nonetheless, they were our elders. And they were on the front line getting dogs sicked on them, getting unalived. All kinds of things was happening us, right? So we can look at the mistakes that was made. We can look at the good things that was made. And then we can go and take it and push the line even further. But when Charlie Kirk was unalived, there was no legislation passed. What it was a lot of hatred being spewed because of what he spewed. People were fired from their jobs for their opinions, right? He said a whole bunch of things about disparaging things about Dr. King. He also spoke about disparate impact that was mentioned in the civil rights bills when he believed that we should have never got civil rights, when we already got over 4,400 cold cases of lynchings in this country. Right? We have so many different things that went on and happened to us as a people. We got the bombing in Birmingham of 3 little girls, right? Charlie Kirk don't care anything about those kind of things. But when he make the statement about disparate impact, he's speaking directly against that, right? But then there was things that were said about extramarital affairs that was brought on by J. Edgar Hoover, right? Where they were saying that Ralph Abernathy spoke one of these things, but a lot of these things can't be proven. Why would I trust the W man? Well, they did all these different things, but Charlie Kirk was go on and say this stuff.
That's what I said. Yes, I mean Martin Luther King, happy to go into it. Very troubled past, well-known, all that sort of stuff.
Now, a lot of this stuff is a joke to me because this is the thing: if the federal government had information on Dr. King that he was assaulting women and he was doing all these things, they would have been uncovered that. They would have put that out there so long ago to ruin his credibility because Dr. King had the power. He had the minds of the people.
But they used to send tapes to Coretta King with him with other women.
He was the most
Hoover
dangerous
did
man in the world at one time because when he spoke, people listened.
Yeah, they didn't. That was proven to be false. They didn't do that. They didn't have no evidence against Dr. King. They was trying to get Dr. King to turn into an informant, like they was trying to get Malcolm X. And Malcolm X straight up told him, "Nah, I'm not working for y'all ever. You will not get information out of me."
He was even more powerful than Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad, right? But all of a sudden, a lot of idiot black people ran with this stuff that J. Edgar Hoover was put out, and they had these documented conversations about why this stuff never was made public, why this stuff never came out. Why would I believe the W man when the W man did all kinds of things to try to ruin our reputations and ruin our image, right? They did this. So now, when you have a lot of people out there would call Dr. King a sellout, but they ain't done nothing. They ain't on there trying to push legislation. They don't have things set in place to better black people. A lot of you Negroes out there that talk this stuff, what do you have to replace the things that you're mad at what Dr. King didn't do? Right? The things that you saying Dr. King didn't do, what are you doing? What are you presenting? Nothing. You just running your mouth. You did nothing for the people. Right? But yet and still you want to down talk Dr. King. No, you are a W supremacist and you believe in the W man. He's God to you. Right? I'm speaking directly to you folks. You are doing nothing for the people, right? But Charlie Kirk and his minions, when he was alive, spoke like this about Dr. King.
Took some shots or some reviews, and we went over the history of MLK pretty extensively, and basically came up with this, the formulation that the right needs to stop mythologizing this guy and really needs to stop taking this one line in one speech about, having a dream and children. And obviously it sounds great, but you have to actually look at his record and the things that he did and the things that he supported and the people that he supported, the policies that he supported, the mass race riots that were going on all throughout the 1960s that he didn't seem to bat a single eye at, that were going on.
Why is it that the person that gets their own federal holiday is the person we've never actually criticized? Is this the guy that was the father of all nations, Abraham? Is this the guy that wrestled with God. Jacob
JFK doesn't even have a holiday.
No, it's so bizarre. And the reason, obviously, is that people are afraid of being called a racist, but we're now in this new era, a brave new world brought to you by Elon Musk. And this Martin Luther King, I'm not going to spoil all of it. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be well researched. Everything we're going to say is true. We're going to be fair. We're going to talk about one or two things that MLK got right.
This morning was one of the more funny reactions when you got it. You're like, oh, this is delicious. You're like, hey, turning point. Do we have MLK gear? Oh, we do. Get it off. And then like,
no,
are we
was
planning any MLK tweets? No more.
Full court press. On to one of the criticisms that somebody has sent. They say, "Oh, Charlie, you are tearing down statues no differently than the left." Well, first of all, I haven't called for tearing down any statues. But wait a second. If you get a statue like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, you probably got it for a good reason. You founded a country. And if you're saying that Martin Luther King is a new founder of New America, then make that argument. The question is, should it be a federal holiday? Should it be one of the largest statues, monuments in Washington, D.C.? These are legit questions. And is it the myth, the legend, the fable, or is it the reality? And what purpose does it serve? Has it made America a better country? We want all people to have a better quality of life. Marxism is not the pathway, and race Marxism certainly is not the pathway. In addition, Blake, in the 1980s, when Reagan signed in MLK as a national holiday, which was a very big controversy at the time because MLK was not well liked in the 80s. He still had very low approval rating. Is that I think one of the reasons why conservatives were willing to take on the MLK thing is because it allowed this point to be made, which is like, hey, we used to be super racist. We passed these laws. It's now no longer a big deal. So let's move on.
I think you're right. I think
so. These are the talking points of a lot of W America. This is the way that a lot of them think, right? This is what they do. So now Charleston White, he was asked at one point when the unaliving of Charlie Kirk happened, what did he think when he heard the whispers of Charlie Kirk being compared to an MLK? And he said this.
You can't compare a white man in 2025 to a Negro colored man in the 1960s. That don't even compare. Mm-hmm. The privilege alone separates the two. It's easy for him to go on a college campus and never have nothing done to him until he was killed. Everywhere Dr. King went, he was threatened, under danger. Yep. That's the difference. Dr. King say all people hold hands. Charlie wasn't talking like Dr. King. Charlie was talking against black people with nothing good to say. With nothing good to say. We never had this many millionaires ever in the history of black people. Even with Black Wall Street. Never. We've never dominated all sports like we do today. Even then, they barely let us in. Our Negro League, the Negro League was doing better. They went and took Jackie Robinson to pull him away from the Negro League. For one, he was a handsome, articulate, educated black man who was a soldier for the army. That's why we know Jackie Robinson. But it was niggas in the Negro League way better than Jackie Robinson. They always take one and put him before us.
Now, Dr. King was in charge of a civil rights movement, trying to eradicate racism. Okay. He was trying to, his best.
I had a phone call. I had to
missed like 3 minutes.
Oh,
Charleston White actually told the truth. Charleston White actually told the truth for once.
Right. Of them think, right? This is what they do. So now Charleston White, he was asked at one point when the unaliving of Charlie Kirk happened, what did he think when he heard the whispers of Charlie Kirk being compared to an MLK? And he said this.
You can't compare a white man in 2025 to a Negro colored man in the 1960s. That don't even compare. Mm-hmm. The privilege alone separates the two. It's easy for him to go on a college campus and never have nothing done to him until he was killed. Everywhere Dr. King went, he was threatened, under danger. That's the difference.
Same thing with Malcolm. Same
Dr.
thing with
King
Huey. Same
say
thing with
all
Asada.
old hands. Charlie wasn't talking like Dr. King. Charlie was talking against black people. With nothing good to say.
Facts.
With nothing good to say. We never had this many millionaires ever in the history of black people. Even with Black Wall Street. Never.
Yeah, but they're on puppet strings
We've
because they're
never
not
dominated
reinvesting
all
into
sports
themselves.
like we do today. Even then, they barely let us in. Our Negro League, the Negro League was doing better. They went and took Jackie Robinson to pull him away from the Negro League. For one, he was a handsome, articulate, educated black man who was a soldier for the army. That's why we know Jackie Robinson. But it was niggas in the Negro League way better than Jackie Robinson. They always take one and put him before us.
Now, Dr. King was in charge of a civil rights movement, trying to eradicate racism. He was trying to his best to get us to be treated equal, right? Equal and fair. Now, he said that he felt like he ushered his people into an a burning house, right? You know, when you know he made these statements, right? Because at one point he was brought along and was ushered in and was told what to say, how to say. But after 1966, he started changing his stance. He started going against what they was putting on the teleprompter and started saying what he felt, what he really felt. And that's when he was unalive, because he started going against what they was telling him to do, because they raised him up to go to push this narrative. And then Dr. King said, man, screw that. So people don't understand, 2 years prior to his death, his approval rating plummeted. A lot of the black church turned their back on Dr. King, right? Dr. King started to get supported by Harry Belafonte, right? Harry Belafonte, when he died, took care of the family and was helping fund Dr. King, because the black church stopped funding him because a lot of the comments that he was making about the Vietnam War and about certain things, right? He started going against the grain. They played a lot of his videos from the early 60s, not the speeches from 66 prior to his death, no. So when he says that he's been to the mountaintop and he's sparing no man, he already knew that they was coming against him. Charlie Kirk ain't never had to experience that. He had, King had J. Edgar Hoover putting out stuff about him that wasn't true. Right? He was stabbed. He would have been through, he was jailed over 100 times, right? Hitting the head with a brick. He's so many different things that he had to endure for his people, right? Charlie Kirk was spewing a bunch of racism that was funded by those people that was being bred up to galvanize a bunch of young W folks to make America great again. When was America ever great for people that look like me, right? So you can miss me with this bullcrap. So now Dave Chappelle, in his stand-up, he went on there and he said this.
So quick to say this. They said, Charlie Kirk is this generation's Martin Luther King. No, he's not. Yeah, that's a reach. You know, they both got murdered in a terrible fashion. They both got shot in the neck, but that's about where those similarities end. It was Charlie Kirk, internet personality. No, by design. Fundamentally, you can't function like Dr. King. Internet niggas are negative because they have to be, because nobody will engage them unless they makes them upset. That's Charlie Kirk. Could you imagine Dr. King was behaving like Charlie Kirk? Smash that like button and subscribe. Follow me for more content like this. I believe all black people should be free. Change my mind.
So Dave Chappelle, you know, he put it in a comedic form, but everything he said was 100. But there's a lot of W folks, right, in modern times that don't agree with these W conservatives and these old school talking points. And they get online and they talk like this.
This man really said this with his whole chest, or his fingers, might I add. Just take a look at this. Just pause and read this for yourself. Yeah, he meant that. We need to come to understanding about something. Martin Luther King Jr. had his faults, just like any other human did. But he fought for civil rights. Charlie Kirk was against civil rights. He even said the 1964 Civil Rights Act was a mistake. The two guys are not the same, not even remotely the same. Because the thing is, Charlie Kirk never had to fight for anything in his entire life, except for another spot on a podcast. That's it. The guy never actually had to fight any kind of oppression whatsoever. Martin Luther King Jr. did. He literally had dogs sick on him by the system. Charlie Kirk never had to face any of that. And again, I don't like what happened to Charlie Kirk, and I denounced it 100%. But y'all are really on a different level of stupidity. I said what I said. I don't care if people have a problem with this. It's true. Martin Luther King Jr. is a far better human being than Charlie Kirk ever was. I said what I said.
There are a lot of Christians in this country that are sad because what he said spoke to something that they already believed. And it made their feeling of Christian power stronger. But here's the reality, whether because you live in a bubble where you are, or you don't interact with people from marginalized communities very much, that you don't seem to understand. His words, his actions, the people he supported, the people that support him are people that are consistently endangering and showing hatred to marginalized communities in this country.
So that was no different. It wasn't even comparable. You know, Dr. King was transformative. Dr. King fought to bring blacks and whites together and fought for everybody, all people. He represented FBA, Foundational Black Americans, and he fought for everybody.
Realized
Charlie
his
Kirk
mistake, brother.
fought for his group, his people, and you wasn't intelligent enough. You wasn't intelligent enough to be on his level. So we're doing you a favor, right, by putting you in the position you in, because we could dominate you anytime we choose to. And the only time black people was allowed to be a part of his regime is if you talk down on other blacks. That was it. He was divide and conquer, right? He spoke like the true pirates, the true Jack Sparrows, the true pirates of the W-man. He fought to bring back the old way of thinking. That's what he was about. He wasn't about unifying nobody, right? Because if he was, people would be together under his way of thinking, right? Why did MLK get unalive? Because he went against the system. He was always against the system. Charlie Kirk was for the system, and he got in bed with certain groups of people when, as Candace Owens is pointing out, and a lot of people know it, right? There's a fight between the radical right and the radical left, right? And there's a argument going on as to who's going to control minority people. He's part of that group that they funded and put him up. Dr. King, on the other hand, was fighting for marginalized groups of people, Black Americans, Native Americans, and all kinds of different groups in this country, and primarily us, right? Because before Dr. King was unalive, there was countless other blacks that was unalive that was speaking in the same manner as a Dr. King, right? People like a Medgar Evers, right? And I go on and on and on. I could name so many that was unalive that spoke out for their people. Somebody like Octavius Valentine Cato here in Philadelphia was unalive because he over blacks having the right to vote. There's so many different people that have names and wasn't named, right? We've always had the struggles of all the things that we had to fight for in this country. We fought in every war. Our inventions were stolen. There were so many different things. So Martin Luther King was born out of the struggle. He was born out of our resiliency and our fight. So some of you may disagree with civil rights, right? But at the end of the day, Dr. Martin Luther King is a foundational Black American, right? His contribution can't be denied. What is your contribution? What are you doing for the people, right? What are you doing? So my whole thing is, this is laughable. You can't compare. It's not even the same. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comments.
Shabaka'S Blacc experience enhanced. All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on Dave Chappelle said about racist white supremacist Charlie Kirk?
Okay. Well, Charlie Kirk, he put himself in that position. Okay. Now I feel bad for his family on a loss, but you could best believe if I got assassinated, okay, Charlie Kirk wouldn't say that about me. He was saying, oh, that arrogant black bastard Shabaka'S Blacc, yeah, he got what he deserved. That's what Charlie Kirk would say about me.
Hell no, Jesse, come on, cuz.
No, he sees he's on TV.
Say hi to the people.
Getting ready to pounce the camera.
Say hi, Amaru. Tell the
Say
people.
hi, Amaru.
Say hi.
Yeah, he's seeing himself on TV.
You look, say hi to the people. Say hi, be one kitty. Say hi.
He's just a purring away.
Yeah, say hi.
Purr.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Get off the camera, cuz. Oh, now that
No, he realizes he's on TV. He sees himself on TV.
Here come his sister.
See your sister?
Want to get in on the act too.
The type of shit I be talking about at home, man. Like you jump up on me because I'll fling your ass across the motherfucking room and spray you. Like, get the fuck down. Like, who the fuck you think this is?
Look
You
at
at your daddy's house? And they're like,
No, they want to be on TV. They see themselves on TV.
Did you see how pretty she is? My baby, you see how pretty my baby is?
Yeah, take it down.
She looks just like me, man. Like,
I'll make it look like
it's
I'm in the
black
living
on the
room.
outside, a pretty little other colors. And my little baby.
Look at them.
Take that shit down. That's the only way to go to the field. That's the only way to go.
They ought to put their paw prints over there at the Chinese theater.
I can't believe that's still open.
Yeah, they looking at themselves on TV.
Yeah.
Being kitties.
Just tell him.
Oh, so we shut down. I should play it. For sure.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, Jesse gotta play something, and then I'm gonna read you the article. Okay? And nobody talk. You gotta let me read it. Just let me get through it. All right? Because it's about me, really.
This shit is
hilarious.
What you guys think? Remember, I love y'all. Till next time.
This is us doing our black work.
Right.
We're on our job, right?
So we had the last city council meeting yesterday.
You know, Matt
2025. And Lady Che got to speak. And she shut that shit down.
Dude, they wrote my name, my government name, and everything in this article.
You didn't get laid out in handcuffs?
No, I wasn't there yet. But next Monday, on the 6th, 5th, I will be there, and I'm going to say the same shit. I'm going to turn around and look at them. That way I don't get confused.
Closed for renovations. We're super excited about that, but 4-year library services. And I think that the placement of the stadium at the intersection of Santa Fe and I-25 for our neighborhoods is not only a uniting thing, bringing us together, connecting some of those neighborhoods that have been divided for far too long.
Okay.
The first part that we are talking about, the exogenous variables, those are
What to do on the
Oh, let me pull it up on
you have to start.
Because that was the best. I didn't think they heard everything. Apparently they did. I was like, Jesse over there totally gave it to me, right? And I said, is it bad? I don't want to read it if it's bad. Because, you know, motherfuckers like to leave comments. 21 comments right here.
They're all telling them to go home. It's just take your ass home. These motherfuckers is begging the city council for all kinds of shit.
You talking about these migrants, right?
I told her English and Spanish.
Yeah, Lady Che flipped it on them. She started her speech in English.
I didn't want him to stop because
I didn't want him to stop
me.
The Spanish.
Okay, well, Lady Che, did they try to prevent you from speaking?
Yeah, they would have stopped me speaking in Spanish immediately because they've only seen me speaking English, right? Because I had to dust that Spanish off. Look, I make them speak English.
Yeah.
You are in our country.
Right.
I go to your country.
The dump
I'll speak
made
Spanish. I'll
English
speak
the
Spanish.
official language.
Yeah.
of
But
the
you're in
United
our
States.
country, right? So my mama used to say long time ago when I first was like even trying to mess with anybody, I was messing with a man that looked like Jesse, spoke Spanish, right? Because I'm from San Salvador. Mother said, if you're gonna mess with someone outside your culture, she said outside your culture, not your race, but outside your culture, then you need to speak their language. It took me 6 months of watching telenovelas to speak Spanish. Easiest fucking language ever, right? So I can speak Spanish in Ebonics and Pig Latin. Pig Latin and Ebonics is our black language, period, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Ebonics.
Okay. Okay, what's Ebonics, Lady Che? You talking about Ebony Magazine?
No.
No, Ebonics is like slang. Like
Ebony
Ebonics
Phonics.
is like slang. Somebody explain
Ebony Phonics.
Yeah.
Okay. Now keep in mind, the only reason I'm asking this question because I know she means this is just for our viewers.
Yeah.
That's all. But go ahead, Lady Che.
Foundational Black American
Ebonics is like
vernacular.
Fucking E40 all day. it's like I can't explain it. I can't explain it right now. But I speak that in Pig Latin, right? And fast in English and Spanish.
No,
right?
get off of there.
So I was like, they know I kind of speak Spanish, but they don't know. They never heard me speak Spanish because I don't translate. Them motherfuckers never asked me shit. They never asked me shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, whatever, right? But this time I was like, I'm so tired of them motherfuckers coming into our council.
Right.
And making demands.
Should I play the whole thing or just play your part?
Just play.
No, just play Lady Che's part.
Yeah. Don't interrupt nobody. Don't talk. Just listen.
All right, I'm gone. I'm muting out the microphone. I want to hear this.
Oh shit, it's not sharing. God damn it. The sound's not sharing. Let me do it again.
Okay.
Not sharing.
Looked like she was up there with the timer on.
Yeah, let me. It's Streamyard's acting stupid right now.
Again.
It's because it's so funny. They don't want to laugh. They don't want nobody laughing.
Okay, let me try it again. Okay, so I'm going to kiss.
Let me be very clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Brandy. Go ahead.
Maybe your time back.
Oh, yeah.
Until like 15 seconds off of your time.
That's why I hurried up. I timed that speech
Yeah, it's
quick.
the B1 cat, twin.
I timed it quickly.
Man, they're cool.
Hey, twin. Hey, Mac 285. Yeah, you guys was El Kambong and that fool with them wrenches last night. That was beautiful.
My baby. But,
All right, here it is.
all right.
It's something this city avoids. This chamber has become a stage for chaos, and the city council is the director. You have created a system where people are encouraged to bypass process, bypass law, and bypass the people who have actually built and paid into this city. And then you act surprised when everyone shows up here demanding everything at once. To the newcomers who keep being pushed to this microphone, this city council is not your personal ATM. It is not your place. It's not the place to pressure residents who are already struggling. You were brought here by political decisions you did not make, and you are being used to justify policies to continue to neglect the Black communities who have endured displacement over policy, policing, and poverty for decades. And let me say this one more thing. Ustedes venga y ustedes venga y pedir este council por comida, por lugar a vivir. Ustedes entran a la ciudad ilegalmente y venga a nuestro council para hacer demands. Trátate como un citizen, un resident, cuando ustedes no son. Nosotros, the actual residents, no tengo pity, no tengo sentimiento por eso. No importa. Y si tienes familia y estás con tus hijas y todo eso, tú veniste de tu propio ciudad para ser aquí. Entra nuestros Estados Unidos ilegalmente. Y tienes la I don't know how to say it, but tienes la fortitude, okay, a pedir gente frente de
Brandy, are you addressing council? I think you're supposed to address, you know our council rules. I'm going to keep interrupting you. I'm going to keep interrupting you, Brandy, if you don't
care about the white people that are sitting in there. They're going to pass everything, and they sure as fuck.
If you keep using profanity, I'm going to keep interrupting you, Brandy, if you can't follow our council rules. So follow our council rules. You come here all the time. Follow our orders. Thank you.
All right, you need to haul her ass into court for interfering with your First Amendment right.
I'm asking you.
No, you got that case there. That's an open and shut case.
I just want to. My name is V. Reeves with House Keys Action Network Denver.
Yeah, they translate that.
Did they translate it? They obviously translated because we wrote a whole article about it.
Yeah. So tell the people what it was you said in Spanish.
Okay, so what I said was, I gotta read it. What I said was, you come here, and I got confused, so I started turning the words around. It said, it's rogando a sus rodillas, right? It's like begging on your knees to the white man for your food and housing, right? So this is what happened. So I'm gonna read the article because they translated it. Okay, so it actually happened. All right, so here we go. The article's funny. 2 single migrant fathers. Wait, hold on a second. The article's called "Single Homeless Migrant Dads Ask Denver Council for Help." Okay, all right, here we go. 2 single migrant fathers experiencing homelessness with their families pleaded with the Denver City Council Monday for help. Speaking through an interpreter, Andrea Costa, during the public comment period, told the council his family had been sleeping in their car for 2 weeks. He said he has been in the country for 3 years. It's complicated for me because of their schooling, and I'm wondering if there's anybody here who can help us, he said. I would like you to all,
did make the front page.
To all help us because my kids didn't choose to be in this situation. You know what I mean? Just you're laughing like, fuck that. We were talking shit the whole night.
Yeah.
Acosta.
Hey, twin.
I don't want to bother you, but I truly did not choose this life. Please help me with my kids and with work, with housing, any way you could help us with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says earlier in the meeting, the council discussed and later approved financing for a new soccer stadium. I don't have nothing against your stadium, he says, what you're trying to do here, but if you could take $1 from that $90 million to help us, whether it's for the most basic, most simple needs, we would really appreciate that. That's when I lost it over here.
Yeah.
Right? Because he said it kind of condescending and sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
Acosta told the council, Descario Ruiz, and also a single dad of 2, also asked for help from the council. I'm here to ask for any help you could provide, whether that's housing. I just now have received my work permit, so I'm able to work. So I ask you to help me find a dignified home for my kids. He said, it has been hard to find a good job, a stable job. All right. And then this is where the real article breaks into it. It said, migrant embarrasses to address council. So, oh boy, was embarrassed. Joandre Rodriguez, whose family also is homeless, attended a meeting with his partner, son, and daughter. Speaking through an interpreter, he repeatedly said he is embarrassed to ask for help. Despite myself and my partner being young with 2 young children, we are finding ourselves in this very difficult situation, he said. I know that I'm a young father. I know that I made this decision at a young age, Rodriguez said. God knows the purpose of each family, and I truly am embarrassed to be standing here. But please, I'm asking you to help me. And here we go.
Well, here we
big
go.
Caps, the title says, Majors, no pity for migrants. Brandy Majors, a formerly homeless woman who regularly speaks at council meetings, along with her partner, Jesse LaShawn Ferris, spoke directly to the migrants. She said, no tengo pity, in a mix of Spanish and English, which translates to, I have no pity in English. She said the migrants are here illegally and should not receive services from the city. Paris repeatedly has referred to the migrant as a migrant invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Miller of House Keys Action Network, Denver,
the Transformer,
called Majors and Paris racist, even though they are Black and frequently speak out about racism.
Right. So I said, this is what I replied. I said, I think it's hilarious that Transformer Anna Miller called us racist when we have no power to be racist. They're just
exactly. You control no banks. You control no police departments. You control no major industries. You control no major stocks. You control no major universities. So therefore, you are in no position to implement any type of racism.
Right.
Like, what was racist? But I'm laughing about it. I've been laughing all day. I said, what was racist, cuz? I didn't say anything racist. Like, like I didn't call them like out there race. You know what I mean? Like, how white people would do? Like, how they call us niggers and shit? I didn't call it, like, I said it like that. You heard me say it right.
Yeah.
Right? They call us out of race with the ER. Like niggers and shit like that. I said it again so we could all hear it.
Yeah. I'm not nobody's nigga.
So, I didn't say nothing like that. Not even in Spanish. I didn't say nothing like that. I said, you're illegal here.
Yeah.
That's it. And you come here begging on your hands and knees, the white man, for food and shelter and money.
Right.
In front of the actual residents, which are black people. What did I say wrong?
Right.
And then he called me a fucking racist. It's on now, bitch. I'm a real girl. You
Right.
hear me? Watch next Friday, next Monday. Me and Jesse, well, I don't even know if it's safe for Jesse. Jesse got pulled in for no goddamn reason. He was just in the background. It was like, hype your homie up, right? He was in the back. He put this shit on me. I don't even want to do city council some days. He be like, you hear that? I'm like, man, fuck all that. Then I see you I'm in it.
Yeah.
He drug me in it. I was like, man, fuck all that. They need to be checked.
Yeah.
Because they're tokenized. And what happened? If you finish playing, what happened? They proved my point.
Well, let me finish reading my comment.
Okay, go ahead. They proved my point.
I said they just upset because we told the truth and nothing but the truth, so help us God, about them illegal immigrants, families. They are tokenizing, meaning House Keys Action Network is tokenizing these illegal immigrant families. This city prioritizing illegal immigrants over actual citizens, and they are aiding and abetting in criminality and harboring criminals. They can miss me with that homeless children on the streets. We have actual citizens and their children on the streets for decades, and no one batted an eye, especially for the black ones.
Yeah. And we lose our children faster than anybody. You not get caught with your babies in a car and you're a black family, whether you with a man, a woman, whatever. Don't get caught with your baby in a car. They will take that baby. Ask me how I know. I lost my baby.
How do you know, Lady J?
I lost my baby. My baby is 7 years old. We went into a shelter. They took my baby and they brought some big ass bull dyke ass motherfucking bitch trying to manhandle me. And as soon as I seen it, I was ready for the get down, but the body was not. And I fully just I was in between a miscarriage. I had a whole fucking session right there. I told them to get my baby out my hands, off my cold, dead motherfucking body, and I'd kill her before I'd give her up. And then there was like, they hit me with the other children shit. And I was like, okay, let me simmer down. You can't be fucking around my other children. They safe and stable. I had this one for 7 years in my motherfucking code. Ugh. You heard? But zero shit. They took my baby, and my baby, I was in a shelter. We was in a shelter, but that's how they do black women out here. They don't see me as some white girl. They see me as just how I am. And they took my baby because my baby looks like a white girl. That ain't on me, man. That ain't on me. I don't know how that happened, but that ain't on me. You know what I mean? That little girl is fucking handled. That devil don't come back in the house no more. After she did what she did, you did. So once I see the Satan in the eyes, because I don't give a fuck if I'm for it or not. Cut that seed off. That shit is never coming by house. That switch up. Only black people see the devil, right?
Like our sister Sonia Massey.
Yeah, when she said she rebuked the devil. I saw the shift. Everybody who's black saw the shift.
Yep.
In her eyes, that man shifted. That was the devil in her house. And what the devil do? The devil did that wrong thing to her. I don't even want to say it because it makes me cry because we're close to the holidays. Right? I'm already emotional. But like I saw the devil shift in it's something that came out of me, and it was taken and raised with that folk. That was the devil in there. The devil had to go. Just like the devil in the villain, the devil had to go. You dig? So I'm saying this. I didn't say nothing racist.
Right.
Normally, I'm like, we know the words to say, but I don't call people out there race up, except for honkies and crackers and shit like that. But I mean, that's just normal. That's just normal. Fucking, that's just normal. I can't help it. They look like fucking old
I had to call a bitch Karen the other day.
He did it so quick too. Bitch, just shut up.
Yep.
He's like, hey, he said something. He's like, can you stop being a Karen? And that bitch shut the fuck up. I was like, woo, woo. Jesse had that locked and loaded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so on the 5th.
Yep, of 2026,
On the
January
5th of 2026, you know, I'm gonna go back in and do my thing because I don't give a fuck what Samuel says.
Right.
Bitch, I don't answer to you.
Right.
You's a white passage Chicana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna shame you right there too. They're gonna have to kick me out.
So listen to what these clowns gotta say.
I'm just bad. I said it's war time. She said that shit. Like when she says this next part, it's war now.
So this bitch right here, she been she been prostituting herself out, and now she called herself advocating for the illegal immigrants.
Right.
No.
Speaking today on behalf of so many houseless families in need. And yes, we do keep coming back every single week with new families.
So this bitch is literally admitting that she's tokenizing these illegal immigrants.
Everything I said before, you know, live, I said everything like that before. And
to show you the need is not going away and action needs to be taken.
They can go back to their homeland, bitch. That's what they can do.
To address this critical need to keep babies, no matter where they're from, safe and sound so that they can go to school, so that they can sleep, and so that they can have, you know, take baths and have food cooked for them.
No, bitch.
No, they don't want to do more than that, cuz.
No, they want way more than that.
They don't accept nothing we have. They want better than that. And we can't get better.
And why the fuck is it our obligation to take care of non-citizens?
We're not going to. We will not.
And their fucking anchor baby children.
I said they ain't getting nothing. Nothing. I made sure they understood that part.
No, nada.
You get nothing.
Nada.
They don't give a good goddamn about you. You just know that. Or maybe I'll make a sign.
What a reality we live in. I mean, I was with these families and we were listening in the other room and they heard 25 million for a bridge. These families in need heard 25 million for a bridge.
Families in need can go back to their homeland, bitch. That's what they can do.
This is me and Jesse at home. Dude, me and Jesse were in the Black House like this, like, oh God. And he's lying.
You know? And that was hard to kind of put into perspective when you have hundreds of families on the streets with their children, hundreds more, exponentially more children than there are families, than there are households, because each of these families can have 2, 4.
She's trying to tug at heartstrings if they even exist. And we just playing a little violin because it's just like, bitch, we've had children on the streets for decades. We've had families on the streets for decades. But now we're supposed to prioritize these illegal immigrants? Fuck no.
Yeah, 40
6,
years
8
that I
kids.
know of.
And you have them on the streets and there are conversations and everyone is in this room and
Yeah,
we filled it up
40
talking
years.
about a soccer stadium. That hurts. Because we should also be talking about babies living on the streets. I think there's a moral baseline that we all should agree to.
Bitch, you have no say on a moral baseline.
Look, I say, Anna, you catch me outside, I'm a real girl.
Yeah.
So how can we be talking about spending tens of millions of dollars on entertainment when these kids are in the cold every single night? When their wait list is 4 months long and 400 people wide.
And they can go back to their homeland, bitch. And then they won't have to be out in the cold. Fuck is you talking about?
That feels a little messed up, doesn't it? Every single week we bring families in need. And the idea is...
Every single week you tokenize these families. That's what you're doing. You're tokenizing them.
not to, take something from others, because the only thing that Brandy has right is that there are a lot of people struggling. But this is to say,
oh no, Brandy had everything right, bitch. What the fuck is you talking about? Everything Lady Chase said was right and exact. What the fuck is you talking about?
I don't be telling no lies over there. I don't be making up my voice statements because I'm gonna run for office one day. But I mean what I say. Like, I turned around and did that. You see, I didn't know they was talking to me. I couldn't hear a goddamn thing.
We couldn't hear it on our end.
Not even a little bit. She was trying to control this shit. She said, follow our rules. I am following the rules. What did I do that was breaking the rules?
You called them illegal.
Well, they are.
You're supposed to call them undocumented.
Oh, don't let. Oh, cause. Well, what's the next good word? Like invasion, like invader.
Right.
I mean, cause you did a B&E in our country.
If you think what she said was bad,
what did I do
until
wrong?
I play what I said.
Seriously, where did I go wrong? Go back after the Transformer speaks and threatens me.
that the kids are innocent.
I said, listen.
And the kids and their parents deserve a safe, healthy place.
So does Tom Woman.
Right.
And so if you do want to help these families here today, 3 of whom are living in their cars, please reach out because they are in immediate critical need. I brought today with me these 3. The 2 I keep signing up every...
Bitch, we had a whole sister that came up to the city council like 2 months ago that was living in her car with her kids. And our brother Kukizi put her up in a room for like a month. The city council didn't do nothing to help her. So
they did. Wait a minute. Did they reimburse Kool Keezy?
I don't know. I don't know if they reimbursed Kukizi. I don't think he was even wanting to get reimbursed. He just did it because it needs to be done. But
okay. All right. Okay.
They're trying to pull out heartstrings while we got whole black families out on the street right now that can't get shelter because these fucking illegals and took all the shelter space.
Yeah, they did. They really did. And they acted like what we're saying is wrong. It ain't wrong. Nothing what I'm saying is wrong.
Yeah, well, just like when I was there, I'm riding down Colfax in traffic and these damn illegals gonna come up washing my windshield. I said, motherfucker, did I ask you? Well, you see, man, you better get your ass the fuck away from my car.
Right.
Week are living in and out of hotels, some that we pay for, some that we just don't have the funding for anymore. And so each time they try to connect, they're on their phones, and imagine them also huddled up. Imagine them also with their kids crying.
And they can go back home. Like Tom Holman said, they can be deported together.
I was like, I'm a real girl. I mean, when I say that, bitch, you catch me outside.
They can all go back home. They can go back to Venezuela or wherever the fuck they from. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit. This bitch. This is so performative, y'all. It's not even funny.
Crying in their ear, pulling at them, asking them when they're going to eat. Because that's happening every time we come here. So please reach out and let's do something about it.
And you feed them, bitch.
You feed them our resources.
You feed them our shit.
You feed them there.
What you talking
because
about?
You're doing mutual aid Monday.
Right.
And there's a big ass motherfucking line.
That's wrapped around the block.
Nothing but us.
That's wrapped around the block.
Nothing but us. But black people stand in line waiting to eat for free outside this building, right? And everything, like half of the people are black.
Yep.
Man, if we had
I got a very, very important question after y'all finish.
Hold on. They were okay, Shabaka. I'm sorry. They're half of them are black and they're over the age of 30. Okay. Then you won't see these motherfucking these illegals. You won't see them in that line, right? You won't see them in that line. You'll see dusty white folk, people coming out of drugs. They're hungry. You see regular homeless people. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see us. And me and Jesse walked that line, and right before he's like, give me like bullshit. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, man, cause I'm hungry. Like, I need a burrito or whatever. But he's like, I want to stop and be in the line. Right. He said, come on, we got things to do. Right. So we got to go into business. We got to go in and handle our business. So I can never get in the line. Right. I was like, let me just do a run through real fast. Right. But when I'm doing the run through, where you think the Hispanics are with their babies at? They in there in the other room and this room, cozying up, got the children in the hallway, running and playing and shit. And then they over there just, please, thank you, please. Like, bitch, you wasting our motherfucking time.
Right.
You're wasting our time when Jesse could have spoke. You know, 6 people after me. You did? I'm like, come on, man. Like, bitch, get off this shit. You don't dare come in our fucking building.
Right.
This is still our shit. We built this government. We should be able to get whatever the fuck we need out this government. It was built on the backs of slavery. Clearly. So we should be able to get everything we fucking want.
Right.
So what the fuck? What are you doing here?
Right.
Go back and fucking fight for your country.
Right.
Build your country. Yet you come over here with whatever skill sets, rob, steal, beg, and cheat. And you won't take what we've been taking? Like you better than us?
Yeah.
Like you can't go in our shelters? Yeah, you know, the food ain't never right anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? But hey, that's what happens. Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Right.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? We gotta go. If I gotta go into the shelter, Jesse gotta go into the shelter. We gotta go into the shelter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But you see us complaining?
No.
Fuck no. Why? Because beggars can't be choosers. And especially you come from a warm spot.
Right.
And it's about to get cold. I have no motherfucking pity.
Right.
Better steal you a fucking coat like the one I got.
Right.
Bitch.
Right.
Thank you. Next up, we have Karina Longa.
She should be online.
No.
Do you have a Karina?
No.
Karina?
No.
We accept the promotion.
Every last one of them motherfuckers belong in a goddamn jail.
Ese apoyo para cada persona que ustedes cada día ayudan. No seamos egoístas, no importa.
Fast forward to the translation.
Thank you for all of this work that you've done, and I want to tell you that my heart is just full of gratitude, and I want to thank you for this breath, this slight break that you've given myself and my family.
Ojalá y cada uno de las personas que están en este momento ahí puedan también conseguir la oportunidad que ustedes me están regalando el día de hoy.
I hope each of the people that are there today can also receive the opportunity that you all are giving me today.
Sin más nada que decirle, gracias y gracias y muchas gracias.
I have nothing else to say, but thank you, and thank you very much.
Yeah, what the fuck ever, bitch.
Thank you. Next up,
Libre a cada uno de los que están hablando, porque pasé por la situación que ellos están pasando. Es tener a mi familia en este hogar.
I want to thank each of you. I want to thank Ms. V, and I want
to escuchar mi voz.
I want to tell all of you, and more than tell you, I want to thank all of you for giving me the chance to let my voice be heard.
Hoy quiero agradecerle a la señorita V, al Grupo Vida.
When they do this translation, they get an extra 3 minutes to translate the shit.
You
So
see how they use by 3
that
minutes?
shit take up all the goddamn time, and we never get to speak. You know, at the bottom of the fucking list.
I didn't even
I was
need that.
I was literally at the bottom of the list. They purposely put me at the bottom of the fucking list.
No, that's just what I was about to say, Jesse. That was going to be it's systemic of how they doing it. And for it to be systemic like that, guess what you got against them, my man?
Violation.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy.
Yeah. And I didn't even use my 3 minutes, cuz.
Yeah.
I did that shit under 3 minutes.
You see, and the reason why they don't want a motherfucker like me speaking up here at these city council meetings, man, regardless of the state, because see, I'll be subjugated to getting arrested.
Wait until you hear what I say.
Because I'll be calling them out on their bullshit.
Cada uno de ustedes que está sentado
Wait until y'all hear what I said.
en ese podio por haberme permitido tener a mi familia en este hogar.
I want to thank each of you. I want to thank Ms. V, and I want to thank Grupo Vida and everyone who is standing there at the podium giving their testimony for creating this space.
Muchísimas gracias por habernos recogido de las calles donde estábamos. Estoy muy agradecida y toda mi vida se lo voy a agradecer. Pongan su corazón libre a cada uno de los que están hablando, porque
Oh shit, I fucked it up. Damn it. I was trying to put the video.
Very much, Sam. City Council provides a half-hour.
Humildad. ese apoyo para cada persona que ustedes cada día ayudan. No seamos egoístas, no importa que no seamos de este país. Pero
I'm happy and I'm grateful for all of your help so far, and I ask you all to open your hearts to these stories because it doesn't matter if we're from this country or not from this country.
It doesn't matter, bitch. It does.
Lo felicito.
She said it doesn't matter yeah, bitch. Yes, it does matter because you're checking resources from actual citizens, bitch. It does
They
matter.
broke our hospital.
Right.
In the same meeting we're at, they're talking about the hospital. You know what I mean?
It does matter. Exactly, twin.
It does matter. It does matter. Black people matter.
Right.
Like, it's not a fucking slogan.
Right.
We fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
They can matter at their face.
They can go back to Venezuela.
You know, self-deport. They was giving $1,000 for self-deportation.
3,000 now.
Now it's $3,000. Get that 3 racks. They don't give us shit.
Right.
I'm still waiting right now on money to feed my fucking family, which is only 3 people. You dig? And it's supposed to be here.
Oh.
You dig? So then where's my shit? But you can get yours now?
Lady Chase, sounds like you got a case for a human rights violation.
Easy,
Oh, big time.
I know how to get it how I live. Don't let me see you.
No, I understand.
That other fucking place above my house, that apartments across the street are $3,800 a month.
Yeah.
My apartment is on a voucher. It's a dive. Across the street is brand new motherfucking apartments. They living in the back of the apartments, all good, all in nice little apartments. They driving better whips. Man, I see them on the street. They look at me like I'm fucking nothing, and I'm looking at them like you fucking nothing. It's robbing season.
Right.
Don't fucking pull over. I steal cars. I got an old record. Don't fucking play with me. Don't play with me. I play for keeps.
Exactly, Mac. This country will
This
pay
shit
us
is
or
fucked
else.
up. And there's motherfuckers like me and everybody. There's really some serious men and women out there. Cause I just go outside and I see all the looks that are older and they just down bad.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be that way.
Right.
They don't have to be that way. You know what I mean? I was lucky when I came over here. I didn't see not now one person outside sleeping on the street.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It was so cold, right? But it was cold enough to be inside somewhere. And I didn't see nothing. So they're talking, and this is the same day. They're talking about our babies are out in the street. Where? I see you.
Right.
I take a bus from my area of town to Jesse's town. It's a 25-minute ride on the bus. I see that now family on the street or trying to get on the bus with their children and sit on the bus where it's warm. I didn't see that at all. What I saw was we going to the black side of town. What I see, black people.
Yeah.
Me, black people. You think? That's it? That's all? You see what I'm saying? So all that shit is cap.
Right.
Whatever the fuck she talking about, cap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I gotta do it the right way. First of all, I didn't disrespect the city council.
Yeah.
They disrespect me.
Mm-hmm.
If I need a translator, I'm allowed to have one.
Right.
That's my right as a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
You did? They made that for them. They cater to them.
Yep.
What am I doing wrong?
Right.
Okay, we just got a flood watch issue here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
told
go
me
ahead,
that
baby.
Shabaka when we started.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, we got a second one.
Oh, you got another one.
I'm passionate.
Por el trabajo que han venido haciendo hasta el momento. De verdad, lo único que tengo en mi corazón es agradecerle y agradecerle por este respiro que nos han dado a mi familia y a mí. Y
I
ojalá
congratulate you for all of this work that you've done, and I want to tell you that my heart is just full of gratitude, and I want to thank you for this breath, this slight break that you've given myself and my family.
Ojalá y cada uno de las personas que están en este momento ahí puedan también conseguir la oportunidad que ustedes me están regalando el día de hoy.
I hope each of the people that are there today can also receive the opportunity that you all are giving me today.
Sin más nada que decirle, gracias y muchas gracias.
Go
I have nothing else to say, but thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, we have Anna Miller.
I hear them babies, them illegal babies just are crying away.
Crying away.
Well, the little baby don't know nothing. It's just
Good
a little
evening, Council.
baby.
My name is Anna Miller. I'm with
Now look
Alkies
what
Action
this
Network Denver.
motherfucker.
I'm here.
Wait, dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this the motherfucker right here.
No, dog. That motherfucking man's name is not no goddamn Lana. Maybe Lenny, maybe Luna, maybe Leo,
maybe Alan.
A woman.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's what I said too. I made that comment. I posted that. I was like, yes.
Man, look at this 5 o'clock shadow looking motherfucker, man. I don't see no estrogen nowhere on this motherfucker.
Nowhere.
But when he said that hurt my soul. So it's wartime now.
It's on.
It's on a cracking. Direct comment.
What was bad, twin?
Right.
Please be more specific.
I'm a real girl and I throw real hands.
Right. Now listen to what this Transformer's about to say.
Yeah.
To talk about families on the streets. Obviously, we brought 3 more tonight. Every week, we have brought you families over and over again. I just spent the last 6 hours today and hours last night wrapping presents that we had to beg the community so that these wonderful families can give their children a Christmas. These people are living in their cars. They're living in tents. They're shuffling between hotels. And we're talking about building another stadium. We don't need another stadium. We have 3 perfectly good stadiums. I'm all for having women's soccer here. I think it's great. But for the time being, we are in a housing crisis. And we're not just in a housing crisis with the lack of adult.
Right. And we've been in a housing crisis, you fucking Transformer. It's been a housing crisis before you even joined fucking D-Hole House Keys Action Network,
Tell that motherfucker to shave, man. I see a 5 o'clock shadow.
That motherfucker is retarded.
On our streets, we have children. These are children. They're babies. I want everyone in this room who has children, because I don't, and I understand it, to think what it would be like to be in these families' positions, to be these parents, to have to stand there and tell your child, we're going to have to sleep in the car again tonight, honey. I'm sorry you can't take a shower. I'm sorry that this is all the food you have.
Motherfucker, all you got to do is get you $15.
We listen to people
and you can go take a shower there at Pilot or over there at Love's. There you go.
$8.
You can go to the rec center and take a shower. Like, miss us with that bullshit.
Yeah, come on, cuz.
God, man.
Work out.
It gets worse, Shabaka. This is just the tip of the iceberg from this Transformer.
Good God, man.
It's things that this city does not need anymore. Not at this moment.
Motherfucker, put some bass in your voice.
I can, and I beg of you to just think about these families, to think about the other people living on our streets. This is a weird winter, but it is going to start getting cold. And what happens when it gets cold? We start having people die on our streets. And this time around, we have children.
That is true.
Lots of children. How does it feel to think about the fact that maybe next year, what they were doing on the steps yesterday when they were having that memorial, how many of them are going to be children? How many are we going to be more?
Don't try to guilt trip us, you fucking Transformer.
Yeah, then we're illegal.
They have a whole homeland to go back to. Their parents should be charged with child abuse.
Where were they? They weren't there, though. I know that much. I saw those people. They weren't there.
Yeah, them illegals wasn't there at that vigil.
Stop the cap, cuz. I hate liars.
It was nothing but crack of them. It was a sea of crack of them.
Memorializing because they died on our streets, because we thought things like a soccer stadium, things like a stupid bridge, things that are just not necessary in our city when we are in the housing crisis that we are.
Bitch, we've been in a housing crisis before COVID, before the invasion. It's been a housing crisis for at least, 15, 20 years. What the fuck is you talking about?
In. I don't know why we should have to keep begging for this. Why we should have to keep begging to get children off our streets. If I could.
Like, we have to keep begging to get our children off the goddamn streets, motherfucker.
We got to beg to get our children into school.
The fuck is you talking about?
What are you talking about? We got to beg our children for you teachers to do a good job. Teach them how to read and do fucking arithmetic. The fuck you talking about, cuz? Oh my God, you're going to bring the look out of that shit.
I say this every time. I would give my apartment up in a second.
Then give it up then bitch.
Yeah, it is, man. This grandstanding lying ass motherfucker, man. Come on, man.
Same motherfuckers that talk about we need to open our doors up to illegal immigrants. But these same
motherfucker knocking on my door there when I was back there. Hey man, you got some food, cat. You are literally putting your life at risk, man. Banging on my motherfucking door, and I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Same motherfuckers laugh when I said you take a homeless person home, take an unhoused neighbor home.
Right.
But these are the ones that wants to take legal immigrants home.
Yeah. And then they up there talking about what was that there up there in Denver where they just saying is they going in somebody's house, taking over somebody's house like they was doing down there in Compton in the 1990s.
Yep. And these mothers talking about, I remember being at town halls and the black councilwoman talking about, oh, we need to open up our doors to the migrants. Fuck no, bitch.
Yeah, fuck no.
But then let you and I go knock on her door and tell us, we need to have your door open for us. You're going to say, get your black ass out of here before I call the police.
I probably should have shut the door like they did Ralph Yao.
Like they did that little boy.
Ralph Yao.
Probably shoot us for home invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you trying to do them dirty. They gonna shoot us through the door.
But these crackers were so eager and willing to open up their doors to these illegals.
Whole apartment buildings to house these fuckers. Free. But we couldn't get none of that.
Nope.
To one of these families, and I would take their tent.
No, you wouldn't.
I would do it, and I've done.
You's a damn lie.
You's a lying motherfucker.
Right. You ain't.
You either a lying motherfucker or a damn fool. Which one is it?
Outside. What the fuck is you talking about? We was actually sleeping outside.
I had a fucking lean-to, because I'm mad disabled. Like, where the fuck was you when I was with? Where the fuck was you? I was getting violated. I lost my baby outside. Where the fuck was you? Come on, baby. Let's stop that shit, man. I call you out real quick, Alan, Adam, whatever the fuck your name is.
Right.
Like you over there walking around like you a real bitch. No, you might feel like one. But after I get through with you, you really gonna be a bitch.
Right.
I slept in years on these streets.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. I was outside. I would remember.
In tents, in doorways. And I am sorry. It's painful to watch. Painful to watch these children.
Nowhere.
Jesse did how many documentaries?
Shit, I lost count.
Right. Where was he?
Nowhere.
So he lying already off the rip.
Little children with these smiles on their faces.
Where the fuck was he?
It disgusts
that
me.
motherfucker need to go shave.
At least.
Don't let me get started, man. These motherfuckers make
Now
us
watch
mad.
what this bastard about to say next.
We're not traitors.
Watch what this bastard about to say next.
And with my last 6 seconds, please stop letting Brandy Majors and Jesse Parrish say their racist bullshit about our migrant community.
Fuck your migrant community, bitch. How about
Call that son of a bitch, Jesse, Brandy.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, you go haul that motherfucker's ass in the court for defamation of your character.
Yep. Yep, that's a lawsuit.
Not day after tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because if I got up there and spoke, there'll be all kind of shit that motherfucker be saying about me.
Right. So let me show y'all what I said. That set this little transformer off so much.
He said, yeah, we didn't do no racist or homophobic or anything like that they call. That they be saying like, so, in anything, we just really passionate. We love our people.
Right.
So why is that wrong?
Right.
Why is it wrong to love black people and want to put them first?
Right.
Well, hold on there, Lady Che. You just brought back a euphemism that the heavyweight champion had stated. That, hey, man, black birds stay with black birds, blue birds stay with blue birds, white birds stay with white birds. I love my people.
So the week prior, Shabaka, because they always put me at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
So the week prior, I was actually able to speak. And I shut that all the way down.
Man, that hat, man.
Get over it, Shabaka.
That hat.
Go get your first round draft pick.
Man, we need a first-round draft pick, a second-round draft pick. We need a draft pick for all 18 positions.
Yep. Y'all need a whole rebuild.
We have Brandy Majors? No. Except Jesse Paris?
Yes, good evening, members of council. Finally, I get to speak to y'all during general public comment. Yes, my name is Jesse LaShawn Paris, and I'm representing for Black Star Action Movement for Self-Defense, Positive Action Commitment for Social Change, as well as the Unity Party of Colorado, the Northeast Denver Residents Council, Front Line Blacc News, Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, the Revolutionary Agenda, and I reside at the roach and bedbug infested Legacy Lofts in a historically Black district of 5 Points in District 9. And Daryl Watson, I called him a tether.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
They froze up on me. They froze it up.
It froze up.
It's not on my end, it's on their end, Shabaka.
Bruh, why does not surprise me? Why am I not surprised?
I wanted to talk about, keep prioritizing these damn illegal immigrants. Yes, they are illegal. They are illegal immigrants. They broke the law. They broke the law. They came across the border. Y'all are literally aiding and abetting in criminality by under this guise of sanctuary. There's no sanctuary for Black people anywhere in this country, anywhere in this city, anywhere in this world. But yet y'all prioritizing illegal immigrants that come over here with anti-Black hatred, just like the rest of the immigrants do. But you want us to go out and vote. The midterms are coming up in 2026. Y'all want us to go out and vote. Vote for what? We're not getting nothing tangible for our vote. All we get is symbolic gestures and the first Black this and the first Black that. That don't trickle down to the actual Black people that are suffering in the city and in this country and in this state. We're done with the symbolic gestures. We want something tangible. That's something specifically for us. We got all this time, money, and resources to give to these illegal immigrants that aren't even citizens. You keep talking about they need due process. They're citizens. The only reason why they have 14th Amendment is because of foundational Black Americans. All these groups that come over here, the only reason why you have 14th Amendment is because of foundational Black Americans. You wouldn't have none of those rights. So you really need to pay homage and respect to the foundational Black Americans that built this country that y'all are fleeing to, but yet you want sanctuary for and safeguard for while they are neglecting us. They are prioritizing illegal immigrants. All these Democrats, that's all they do. And they lump us in the broad, ambiguous terms such as people of color and minorities. Yeah. And then they give us this sob story about, we don't want to break up families and we don't want to separate families. I have no problem separating our families and y'all still doing it. Right. Y'all have no problem locking us up and throwing away the key. Y'all had no problem with that. But now that the illegals are here, oh, we have to treat them like they're actual citizens, even though they're not citizens. They're illegal immigrants. They broke the law. Come here, Trump. Come here, Tom Homan. Get these illegals up out of here.
Thank you, Jesse. That's your time. And with that, we are done with public comment.
Nobody stops Jesse, but it's just me. You see how they do because
I got it in at the very end.
Oh my God. I kind of impressed them.
Yeah. I would have been let out in handcuffs.
I wasn't there in person, Shabaka. If I would have been there in person,
it was what, virtual?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that virtual bullshit. Yeah.
They got the virtual shit because we took over the chambers during George Floyd, and they started rioting. So then they said, "I'm gonna go virtual now because of COVID." No, that's not why you went virtual. You went virtual because you were scared of the people. Yeah, I let them have it. So that's why that transformer said what they said.
Pull that card. Pull your whole card, Anna. Get over your apartment, bitch.
Crew said they're gonna have the virtual cops show up next.
They do. That's called not letting us speak.
We had some weird ass trolls that infested my chat yesterday or day before yesterday. Now.
Yeah, don't worry about it, crew. We're used to the police looking at us.
The motherfucker.
They come out the woodwork when I roll in the building. I'm like, God damn, Jesse, I think it's me, man. I'm starting to wonder if it's me. I'm starting to think that it's just me that they want to catch. Don't got that bad. And I'm in my motherfucking wheelchair just whipping around the shit. Like, bitch, come on. You have to really get in the way. You know what I mean?
Look, it's so quiet in there. They don't know what to do.
You saw after I got done with it, they were just like that too. I didn't even disrespect the rules. So not only did they let that shit happen, I never disrespected the rules. I'm a legal citizen, born in the fucking nation that we are here. This is our nation.
Right.
It's our country.
Right.
I was born here.
Right.
Actually, I was born in East LA.
Right.
But I was born here.
Right. That's still U.S. soil, right?
We're at war. What did I say wrong? And I want to confront that bitch. I'm like, look here. What rules did I break? Because I'm about to break them again.
I told you that when they had a decorum, it's because of being
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the hypocrisy is real.
Float
on.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is real.
New channel coming. That's what's up. He said virtual reality. New channel coming soon.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all we have for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself.
Yes, you did good.
I know. Hey, look, they found that shit out. Once they started mocking us about that money, and they like, hey, you give us $1 out of that 90 million. Oh, come on now, right? But
they are them motherfuckers, y'all. Okay.
Thank you, man.
It sure as shit stinks. These motherfuckers is having some damn offline meetings and some backroom meetings and some clandestine meetings about you all.
Oh yeah, I checked the fuck out of them.
Not out in my mind.
You made a point to make a speech right before he kicked rocks. You know, he made a point to
just like what they did to me, Brother Che, up there when I tried to call into California's state assembly, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Cancun. Yeah, we're not gonna allow others to divide us.
We're the villains of the whole city.
Yep.
And I really just go out to say I think it's me because the police get bigger and bigger every time I get in the room. You know what I mean?
Well, just like I told that motherfucking Denver police sergeant, man, who's threatening to beat my ass. I said, man, you ought to go to LA and be lieutenant. They need guys like you.
He probably did.
They're gonna remind me.
Motherfucker probably did.
I'm from LA. They're gonna remind me.
I know the current Aurora police chief. He's from LA.
Right.
LAPD or the sheriffs?
LAPD.
Look, the sheriff and the chief get arrested. And if they do, it'll be a really bad look.
Todd Chamberlain.
It'll be a really bad look for them. But they're not going to arrest me because they don't arrest any other motherfucker. And there's some people that really do need to get arrested
for
fucking up our city council.
Right.
All I'm doing is stressing the point.
Oh, they brought it back. They got public comment now.
Oh, man. So I should be up there.
Yeah.
I have to leave like immediately, hop on the train and get there. Yeah.
Well, they have public comment in the middle of the night.
Yeah, 6:30 in Aurora in my area, but I haven't really been inclined to want to go because I got a real problem with ambulance chasers, especially black ones. They say they're the epitome of excellence when I don't believe that. Not in my motherfucking heart. I know what epitome means, and I know what black excellence looks like, and it's not this bitch or her other cronies. They're fucking coons and mammies and motherfucking bootlicks. And they know that they're the enemy to our people when they choose white folk over us. And then they want to get busy in the street agitating already upset black folk against the police in Aurora, knowing that They just got done murdering a black
talking about
man.
Jeff's crew.
Murdering a black man.
Punk-ass
They don't have a problem murdering 30 more black people. Just keep it up. They have the community calling the laws bitches, hoes, and all kind of shit, right? Knowing that that's going to agitate the situation.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's not wrong. I'm saying don't agitate the community when they're already in a position where they could get busy and it could get worse. And you're going to have not one just dead body. You're going to have 30 more dead bodies because they are so prepared to end life.
Will shoot you first and
Aurora
ask
with the
questions
shit. They don't give
later.
a fuck. They don't really give a fuck. If they don't shoot you on the street, they get you in the jail.
Yep, they're gonna get you though.
They're gonna get you though. You know what I mean? And it doesn't
I
matter.
don't
You don't
fuck around with Aurora.
You don't fuck around. And there's some bravery. You know, like we got KIE over there fucking with them and shit all the time, giving them the riot act and reading them the laws.
Yeah.
And that's good work. You do good work. But what we're talking about is these motherfuckers are coons.
Yes.
Blatant coons.
Yep.
And they don't like us because they just don't like us, right?
Yep.
But they want to be biggity black all of a sudden. When I remember, they motherfuckers begging, sit next to Jeff Hart and eat food to give commentary.
Yeah.
How is that black excellence?
Right. The epitome of
You know what I
black
mean?
excellence. Fuck out
Black
of here.
excellence is writing motherfucking policy and drafting shit like I'm doing.
Right.
Get on my level, bitch.
Right.
You see? But I'm ready to get busy. This bitch over there challenging out a white lady.
Instead of letting a whole white woman tokenize you.
Yeah, she over there calling the laws on a white lady. Then get out there and get busy. The white lady challenged you to a motherfucking duel in the ring.
Yep.
Do you think if a white lady challenged me and said, hey, I want to fight that bitch in the ring for charity? I said, I ain't putting no money on it, but come on. Shit. Where we got to go? We go to Lumumba's ring?
Right.
That's right down the street.
Right.
Let me get ready. Can I do it in my chair? I've been practicing Tai Chi, bitch.
Right.
Come on. Shit. Do I got to catch you outside of Walmart because you're sleeping in your pajamas and going to work in your PJs?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing, wearing bonnets and going to work in PJs. You know what I mean? You don't know how to dress? What the fuck? Where I got to beat you? I gotta catch you slipping? The bitch was there when that man was shot in the face, right?
Yeah.
And she lied. She did lie, right, to the people. I was like, man, she sounded kind of convincing. And when I found out she lied, we found out she lied by with the video and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this bitch is only worried about her goddamn car. A man died, shot in the fucking face.
Black man.
I was giving it to him, man. I was hoping you could at least get one punch off.
Yeah.
Right, but not really. He did get something off when he got him to the floor.
Yeah.
But he was worried about her motherfucking car. Who gonna pay for her car now because you shot him in the face? That's what she said. So I ain't got no respect for nobody. And you bring Big Crump out here?
Yeah.
Oh, Crump biscuit eating ass motherfucker.
Ambulance chaser.
I got no respect for that. Niggas know when they see me, I come by myself, alone.
And you have the pork chop preacher.
And I have a discussion with whomever privately, and I share my thoughts and grieves and hugs.
Remember the pork
privately.
chop preacher that was running for office in Aurora, Shabaka, and they had a voter box outside of his church, and it mysteriously got vandalized. Somebody was handed motherfucker.
Yeah, man, that motherfucker committed a federal offense, man. That's called election tampering.
Nobody went to jail, Shabaka.
Nobody went to jail. But they
Nobody was. So now what you got right there is conspiracy.
I'm doing some other undercut shit because I want our people to survive. And I've already made my little appointments. But trust and believe, if some white lady challenged me, she could get the man's right then and there. Right then and there. But this broad was like, you see her? This white lady just wants to hurt a black woman. I don't know why she wants to put hands on me. I mean, she just wants to hurt me because I'm black. I'm just black. No, you a different kind of black bitch. Because you would know. No, a real sister would never do that.
Right.
A real sister said, oh, that fucking honky ass, quack ass bitch can catch these motherfucking ass right now. Where is she at?
Right.
Charity starts at my house, bitch. Where you at?
Right.
Where you at, ho?
Right.
That's what we would say.
They took my virtual reality name already. Damn. Taking my head some white comedian.
Well, sue that motherfucker for copyright infringement.
Hey man, when I found out somebody was using my doll name, I had to look them up. I said, "This off-brand bitch got the audacity."
Breeze knows about her.
I don't care. I don't care what he knows.
I said, Lady Chase said she saw her name.
Yeah, she did. Look, if this motherfucking name has been on my skin for I don't know how long, I mean, like at least 10 years, then all right, you're gonna call me that name for the remainder of my life. Look, this tattoo is ingrained in my skin.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you call me, there's a reason for it.
The doll.
You don't call there's a reason for you to call me the seduction doll. It's not sexual, brother. So just get that off top. It's just a magic. It's the magic, and that's not nothing like that.
Right.
It's just it says the 48 laws of whatever. Yeah, 48 laws of seduction, and it's not the first 3 off the plate. That's for off brands. They're gonna use their body to get whatever. Yeah, no, I'm a deep thinker. Think outside the box. But yeah, no, I'm like it's a white leg challenge because I swear I'll probably get super excited in the wrong way. It is my birthday. I gotta do that.
They got One Punch Man trailer with Jason Statham.
No, Stratham. His name is Stratham. Jason Stratham, cold ass martial artist.
You better stop. Hey, I have seen some new movies or whatever. I recommend everybody watch that new Avatar. I said a new Avatar bootleg edition. It was great.
They got Jason Stratham playing the new James Bond.
Oh, okay.
That new Avatar is pretty good. The third one.
Yeah.
Just keep on eating that, and the fridge ain't going home right now.
Oh, and you know they passed over Idris Elba to play James Bond. You know that, right?
Yes.
As they should. I can't get it to. Well, you know, he's like the only clean-looking British, his British accent, like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you got some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have some?
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's all we got. We got 3 hours, so we're gonna wrap it up. So give your Shabaka.
All right, it's cold out here. It's 54 degrees. Waiting for the bomb cyclone to come through off the coast of the Pacific. Getting ready to smash the coast of California. You know. And it is what it is. So, and then also to them no good insurance companies in California. Yeah, Gruesome Newsome, I'm talking to you. These people lose all their homes, cars, and all that. And what the motherfucking insurance company says, you're not covered. That's criminal.
Man, just put that
and these people have been paying all that motherfucking money. And tragedy hits. That's getting ready to hit the California again.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that on Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase.
Yeah, hey Mac 285. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Particularly for the Shy crew, it is because you all usually down there about 13, 14 degrees now. There, plus it's the winter solstice too. And tomorrow is Christmas Eve.
Yep. Restitution Day. Happy Restitution Day, crew.
It's tomorrow.
It's Christmas Eve. Wait a minute. It's Christmas Eve there and Pony Town.
No, Shabaka, in the Rotten Apple.
Yeah, the ponies.
In the Rotten Apple, Shabaka. Not in Denver, not in Mile High Income City. In the Rotten Apple, it's Christmas Eve.
What's the Rotten Apple?
Oh my God, New York City.
Oh, yeah. I ain't never been to NYC. Won't be going. Should have went there 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I have. I've been there several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying, man, stay inside, cover up. Like, go do what I did. I asked Jesse to go to the store and grab a couple things because I knew I was gonna be in the crib for.
They got rats as big as cats.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought it was gonna be okay. And so I brought some stuff from my crib because Jesse has a 3-day limit where I could visit for 3 days. Tomorrow's my 3rd day. So I gotta take my little ass home and it's all in cracking at the house. So I'm pretty excited. I'm not excited because, people have been like, I've been waiting for my money to come, like I said, it's supposed to come. And that shit really upset me. So I've been checking the mail like crazy. That's why I said, just pay us what they owe. Pay what people need to pay. They need to pay us already what we got going on time. Stop messing around. Let's get that done first and still pay us what you owe. You know what I mean? Because it's hard waiting. You know it's coming, but you don't know when it's coming. And you know what I mean? That you need it because you got a family to support. You did?
You wet work. I want my money. Mm-hmm. It's my money and I want it now.
Yeah. Yep. So, and I might throw an RVA together, depending if I see Jesse in the next day or so. But you're definitely going to see me on the first day of Kwanzaa, which is here shortly. Happy Kwanzaa. Yeah, that's where we get to go with the community, and I'm going to be a dick there, too. I'm going to be a dick there, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably live stream it.
Definitely a live stream, because
okay, they just issued a flood watch out here.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you the good news. Ramel, our anchorman, is out and about. He's out of the pen. He's out. He's out of jail. Right? He did his bid. He's out. So my twin, me and Ramel look almost alike. Yeah. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. We probably look alike because I don't know. But Ramel's Dominican. Wait. We're going to go live because it's me and my twin. Yeah. Me and my twin day. He called me and told me just to get ready. And it's going to be on cracking on Saturday. So I'm going to be like, I'm with my twin. We got twins. We're like so amped up. We got music and goals and shit. It's going to be great. So, yeah, the Anchorman is out. He just can't be doing no empowerment stuff yet because he's in the halfway house getting allocated to he's in the halfway house getting allocated to the world again, you know what I mean? So he's gonna be out and about in the East. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. So and I could definitely be out and say all kind of shit because Ramel be kicking ass. Yeah. Now I got the hands and feet. But yeah, me and Ramel have been making plans for fixing my show a little bit and putting other things together. Because as soon as Ramel got out, Ramel started fucking with the AI shit. He got himself riding Panthers through New York. Yeah. He's over there at the Dominican Republic fishing with girls. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's doing the most. I'm like, that's not you. You know what I mean? He's laughing and shit. They're making whole movies and videos and shit. Yeah. But keep in mind, Ramel was in prison. He dropped like 47 mixtapes. Mm-hmm. Right? 3 movies and 2 books. Yep. Not to mention he was goosing in there and just calling us, bugging us and shit. So he was doing a lot with his free shit. I ran into one of the bras he was messing with. And Jesse didn't want to tell. I told. That bitch is as toxic. Yeah. Toxic? She's like, don't tell Ramel. I was like, you not gonna tell Ramel? Ramel, cuz, twin, guess what? Tell him, Jesse. Tell him. Girl. Yeah. I was like, man, we don't hold secrets for ratchets. Right. No, never that year. Yeah, because I was running for mayor at the time, and she's like, I know who you are. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. That big bitch get her ass handed to her, too. I was like, cuz, stop messing around. I don't play around my Jess, not my Jess. All right, ladies, here's that your closing. Yeah, all right, everybody else to play around. Lady Che done with her closing statement. Yes, sir. Yeah. Happy holidays, whatever you're doing. You gotta see the RVA. That's why we'll go clowning on the RVA.
And keep in mind, if you see some red dude in a suit coming down your chimney, that is a burglar.
Right.
Right, because he's white, not black.
Right.
And he's not in a blue suit.
Right.
Oh, baby, could you imagine the white one getting beat the fuck up by a whole bunch of family?
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I remember we were watching reels and shit. There's been some funny moments. All right, family. Stay black. Stay favored. Stay blessed.
Stay dangerous.
Definitely stay dangerous.
All right, and this here concludes Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced, air date of this episode, December 23, 2025. Coming to you from Sin City. All right, so I'm going to check this flood watch to see how California might, go into the ocean.
Yeah,
and all that old...
Stay above ground. Stay above ground.
Stay who?
Stay above.
Stay what?
Ground.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just gonna go check out in the middle of the night and make sure my car ain't floating away.
Y'all get 1 inch of rain and the whole fucking city floods. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. And it's 54 degrees, and that's a misread because it feels every bit of 41 degrees here. How do I know? Because my arthritis is telling me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, that's how I know. All right, folks. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. Yeah, shout out there to Crew Reality in the Shy. Yeah. Go Bears. Go Bears.
And
no, it floods in the desert group. Man, hopefully it's the ponies getting smashed by the Bears in the Super Bowl.
At least we'll be in the Super Bowl. We know you Gators, you masqueraders,
sir.
You're gonna be nowhere, but 6 feet under.
Sir, we already discussed that. I made it perfectly clear, of at least on 5 occasions, to the Raiders organization, leave town or change your fucking name.
Don't nobody want them. Where they gonna go, Shabaka?
What the fuck do I care as long as they leave Las Vegas? They can go down the damn sewer for all the fuck I care. Shit, as long as they get the fuck up out the neighborhood here. Shit, fuck that.
They take the stadium with them.
No, leave the goddamn stadium, man. That day could be for a better team. No, leave the stadium. That motherfucker's nice on the outside.
Nice for a sorry team.
Yeah, I know, and I ain't been on the inside of it. Hopefully, in the near future, I might get in there. Hopefully,
Bad Amaru.
Amaru the kitty, huh? All right, folks, I'm out.
Okay, good night, Shabaka.
All right, have a nice night.
They said yes, the Bears will win. We'll see, crew. I got to get past them Seahawks and them Lambs. Bears will beat a horse. They'll run as fast as a horse. We'll see, crew. All right, y'all. This is going to conclude season 11, episode 9 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. Join us Friday for Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. Season 11, episode 10. For Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Blacc News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter. So peace, love, light, reparations, separations, delineations, and Black empowerment. Chan Krumah and Lady Che signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. Go Broncos.